James Wiseman to be there on the sideline. Iggy's back. Jordan Poole, Steve Kerr. The Warriors are back. Opening night is tonight down at Staples Center, and the Warriors beginning their 60th season in the Bay Area. Their 60th season in the Bay Area, folks. It's going to be a special one. And good morning to everybody out there on the roadways. Good morning to Langford Curley. Good morning to everybody on Twitch. Brought to you by Xfinity and YouTube. And good morning to you, Joe Shafsky III. We had a day off yesterday to refresh and recharge and kind of get over the Giants losing to the Dodgers. You had no 49ers this week. We'll get to them a little later in the week and who's going to play quarterback and whether or not the Niners are in crisis mode or whatnot. We'll do that a little bit later. We'll recap the Giants season and figure out what they need to do in the offseason and talk to Flim at 8 o'clock.
I've got notes.
But it's going to be a heavy Warrior show because Steph and company are back, baby. They're back.
I was in a malaise Friday afternoon and took my grandfather golfing off like 3 hours of sleep from Thursday night's game. And my grandpa says to me, "Are you ready for Steph Curry tonight?" I said, "Grandpa, you're ready to turn the page on the Giants?" He says, I have to turn the page. And the malaise that I was in, when I hit the second quarter and I got a text from my brother talking about, "Are you watching Steph Curry?" And then I texted you, Bonte. What did I say? I said, this guy looks spectacular physically. He looks like he's on a mission. You want to talk about just what the doctor ordered? Warrior season starting up. Steph Curry back in my life. The joy, the happiness that comes with Warrior basketball, with basketball in general. And I don't know, I'm not sure how much you played in a gym growing up because I played a lot of organized basketball my entire life, and I'm coaching at this age. It's now cold. Today's like the first official cold day, and there's something about coming in and out of gymnasiums
no doubt.
When it's nice and cold and you see your cold breath coming out and the floor is just a little wet. There's just something about Bay Area basketball at this time of the year.
No doubt. You go into the gym with a pea coat on or a puff coat, and you got the beanie, you got sweats, everybody's just bundled up. And then you get into the gym, everybody takes their clothes off, you get your shorts on, you get the run, and you get the T-shirt on, you hear the sneakers squeaking on the gym floor. I mean, we grew up in gyms. We played outdoors when it was cold, too. No doubt about it. But the gym, no doubt. And look, the one guy who's entering the gym today, going down to Staples Center, Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry. And let me just remind people what he did last season. Steph Curry last season led the league in scoring with 32 points per game. He was second to ever do that at the age of 33 to lead the league in scoring. Who else joined him in that list? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, the only players to lead the league in scoring at the age of 33 or older. And it looks like he may lead the league in scoring again if he wants to. He's also 142 threes behind Ray Allen for first all-time in the NBA. And now people forget the Warriors were 39 and 33 last year, and Steph Curry missed 9 games. This team, in my opinion, will be a top 4, top 5 team in the Western Conference. And they're going to be a team that nobody wants to see in the best-of-7 series. Now, we've got a long way to go because health is important. And we're going to have the return of Klay Thompson at some point. We're going to have the return of James Wiseman. He's going to start running soon, full-on sprints. And from there, I think you give James Wiseman about 3 weeks to a month. But the band is back together. Iguodala's back. Jordan Poole's looking good. But it all starts with Stephen Curry.
Yeah, I'm totally.
By the way, told the NBA Friday night at Chase Center, this is a warning shot. I'm dropping 41 against the Portland Trailblazers. Buckle up. Buckle up because I'm back and I'm better than ever.
Whenever those Portland Trailblazer uniforms come onto the court, it feels like that hoop goes to about, 7 feet wide? I mean, the guy's just unbelievable.
They have no answer for Curry.
Can we make a promise on this show?
What's that?
Here's the promise that I want to make to the audience. We're going to appreciate every step of the way
no doubt.
With Steph Curry. Just Steph Curry in general. You and I, we talk quarterback all the time. And there's with good reason. There's with good reason. Joe Montana, Barry Bonds. These are larger-than-life individuals in Bay Area sports history, right? Willie Mays, Willie McCovey. That's who Steph is. Steph is in the exact same breath as every single one of those guys. And I feel like as a media platform, whether you're talking about the writers, the people that talk for a living like ourselves here, both stations, we don't talk about Steph Curry enough. I don't think we've appreciated truly how great this guy's been. Now, has he had times where we've gone Steph overload crazy? Yeah, we've had individual years here and there. He is in the middle of one of the greatest basketball careers ever. ever.
Right.
And this guy is about to, I think, have another fantastic year after an unbelievable year last year. Bonte, physically, forget all the other, what he did 2-3 years ago and the unanimous MVPs. Right now, physically, he looks like the best he's ever looked. His strength, his endurance, his conditioning, these are the things I said about Jerry Rice. Like, this is what gives a guy longevity.
Right.
Not just are you great, not just are you unique and changing the game dynamically, are you physically at your peak of your powers? I think we could say that with Steph Curry.
I mean, he just led the league in preseason points per game. Averaged 44.5 in the preseason. I know it's just preseason. But last year, he came in phenomenal shape. And you saw the way he finished at the rim. Finished at the rim better than ever. Taking contact better than ever. This year, it looks like he's even in better shape. And he played a lot of golf.
Unreal.
But he is focused. And the things that I'm hearing out of Warriors camp, the things that I'm hearing from Andrew Wiggins, the things that I'm hearing from Steve Kerr, the things that I'm hearing from Jordan Poole, they have now taken a mindset from Draymond Green and Stephen Curry. And they're thinking championship. Now, is that far-fetched? We'll see. Well,
shoot high when you have Steph Curry.
Look,
I think that's fair.
No, the Western Conference is wide open.
I agree with you.
We try to explain to folks a long time, but I agree with you. It's not about the long term. It's not about how many years does Steph Curry have in his peak.
Right now.
It's every single game.
Exactly.
Every single game will be a show this week.
Exactly.
Just tonight, you got the LA Lakers on the other side of Staples Center. LeBron James, Russell Westbrook,
I forgot
Anthony
Russ.
Davis, Rajon Rondo. They just signed Avery Bradley yesterday, picked him up on waivers. The Lakers. And then Thursday, you get the Clippers. Sunday, you get the Kings. Every game. All 82 games will be its own episode, and we're going to chronicle it every single night. And you talk about Steph Curry being box office. He walked into Oracle Park Thursday for Giants-Dodgers Game 5.
Dude. Come on.
And I'm at a meeting with NBC yesterday. And they talked about we had somebody waiting for Steph Curry to come into Oracle Park. The thing got so big, ESPN was like, hey, can we grab that clip? Forget the game. We want to see Steph Curry walking into the stadium. This is how big this guy is. He's huge. So, look, tip-off tonight at 7 p.m. Warriors Live starts at 5:30 with Damon Brewster, Ray Rattle, presented by Xfinity Sports Zone, the ultimate sports hub experience. Don't forget, tonight on NBC, we're going to have Warriors Live.
And you're going to be doing pre and post all year.
I'm going to be doing pre and post all year
Who's
again.
on that squad with you?
Darrell Wright, Chris Mullen, Jennifer Azzi. You got Dubs Talk at the end with Grant Liffman and Kendra Andrews. Kareth Burke is going to have a big part of it.
Nice.
Body Pool is going to be involved. People are ramped up. And I was hearing the predictions
I didn't hear
from
my
everybody.
name.
Yeah, your name's not going to.
Damn it.
You won't
I'm
be
Bonte
here.
Hill. I'm not gonna lie. I suck at hoops.
I do, especially now. My jumper's still there now. I still got a little bit of jumper. The set shot's still there. But look, the predictions that I was hearing from everybody. Kareth had the Warriors winning over 50 games.
Oh.
Fitz had the Warriors winning about 49-50.
Oh.
Kendra Andrews had the Warriors.
I love how Fitz comes in at 49 to go under so that they can over-deliver.
Yes, no doubt about it. But
Fitz.
you know what? The over in Vegas is 48.5.
Oh, it's a good over.
So what I told them, they go, what's your win total, Bonte? I said, I just say they're going to finish in the top 4 of the West, whether that's 48, 49, 50. And they're, come on, give us a win. No. They're going to be a top 4 team in the Western Conference.
You never can just play the game.
No, I play the game, but it's hard to predict a win total. It's like, look, they're going to be a top 4 team in the Western Conference. Now, there's some people who think 54, 55 wins. Well, you look at the Western Conference, and you start with this Lakers team. This is an old basketball team. A very old basketball team. How's it going to work? Well, Frank Vogel has to figure that out.
Frankie.
Steve Kerr is what I'm focused on. And how does he figure out how to mix in this youthful, exuberant, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Jordan Poole, and James Wiseman into the equation with the old Grizzly veterans like Andre Iguodala, like Otto Porter Jr., like Bielitsa, and Stephen Curry, Draymond Green. Look, we heard a lot from Draymond Green in the Ringer yesterday with Logan Murdoch. He wrote a great article on Draymond Green. I think he's in for a big year.
Yeah.
I think he's in for a big year, Shasky.
I'm with you on Draymond Green. And look, we'll unpack all those. You brought up the rookies right out the rip. Can we agree? Now, I'm not a big gumbo guy. I don't pretend like I make a bunch of gumbo, but I do a lot of beef stews and chilies and things like that.
Got to get on the gumbo, man.
I know, but
Got to get on the gumbo.
I stick to my wheelhouse, all right?
Yeah,
So just
gotta
hear
get
me
on
out
the
here.
gumbo.
I do the chilies. I like a good chili, okay?
Good chili with crackers? Saltine crackers?
Well, it depends. I mean, you do loaf. We could do all kinds of different ways. There's many ways that
Yeah.
you can consume my bowl of chili. But if you were pulling together the chili, wouldn't you agree that the base of the chili, inside of it, the meat is the most important?
Yep.
Who is the meat for this team? Steph Curry, Draymond Green. Right now. Now, we'll see what ends up being as the year goes on, okay? I think the sauce, which would be that outlining stuff, some of the liquid that you're going to throw in there, that'd be your Wiggins, whatever Klay's going to give you this year, because I don't want Klay to be the meat at this point right now. I think we're going to have to ease him in there. And then as you sprinkle in all the other ingredients, that's your Bielitsas, that's your Iguodalas, your Jordan Pooles. I don't know what Jordan Poole's going to end up being. Is he going to be kidney beans?
Yeah.
Is he going to be something that's going to provide a little more protein, a little more kick? I don't know. Right now, we'll see. And then those rookies that you mentioned, that's a little salt and pepper to taste.
Oh, it's
like to
great.
me,
Great.
that's not the base of this particular chili.
No.
That's just a little something I'm sprinkling in there, and I'm mixing it all in. So as I look at this whole totality of the Warriors this year, the vibe feels so much better 1 year later. Now, I know on the eve of the draft, Klay Thompson hurts himself. Wiseman doesn't get to practice. Draymond's missing time because of the COVID thing. Like, there was just a dark cloud over the team for a variety of reasons. Yep. And then they made that trade for Kelly Oubre, and it just didn't fit.
Didn't work.
I don't fault them for making the move. It just didn't fit.
Didn't work.
I'm watching the team this year. The vibe feels better. Doesn't it?
It does.
It's like everything seems to fit a little better, we're putting the puzzle together. So I think this chili's going to taste delicious this year.
And you didn't even bring up Andrew Wiggins, who has been in the news for everything but basketball.
It's a good point.
Now, we're past that. I hope we're past that. I mean, got the shot. He's playing basketball. And he's going to be playing basketball at J Center. Got the shot. It's one and done. Johnson, whatever. Andrew Wiggins is very intriguing to me on this team because he's a two-way player who, for the first time, again, as a Golden State Warrior, the attention isn't on him.
Yeah.
The attention isn't on him. And he could just play. Just play. And that's what Steve Kerr and company expects from Andrew Wiggins. Lock in defensively. He'll be guarding LeBron James tonight. Hopefully he doesn't get in foul trouble. And just play. And I think he's going to be a very interesting piece of this puzzle here where he can complement Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, where he can complement Klay Thompson when he gets back. And then you talk about Kelly Oubre Jr. and the IQ of the basketball team last season. It wasn't high. Let's just be honest. The IQ overall on this basketball team, it lacked for a lot of stretches here, especially at the beginning of the second quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter.
And I think the style that Kerr wanted to play didn't fit the personnel and what those guys like doing.
No doubt.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just wasn't a great fit.
It wasn't a great fit.
I hate doing the IQ. You're right. The basketball IQ was not good.
No, it wasn't.
But also the fit wasn't good.
It wasn't good. But we talk about the second and fourth quarter. Remember all those games? First 6 minutes, everybody's begging.
Survival.
Steve Kerr, throw in Curry, play Draymond. What are you doing? This is terrible. Well, I'm eager to see how Steve Kerr works these rotations now with the second quarter and the fourth quarter units.
Well, they have better pieces.
Right, they have their pieces because now if you get out to a big lead in the first quarter, I think you got the guys who can stabilize the game and just play par for that stretch, those 6 minute stretches. And then when Steph Curry gets back into the game to finish the half, and when he gets back into the game to finish the game, now all of a sudden you play it with the lead because guys are not just blowing it. Remember the second units last year? Second quarter unit was atrocious.
I mean, Brad Wanamaker was playing heavy minutes early in the year. I want to get to Draymond in a second and Jordan Poole. You brought up Andrew Wiggins. I thought Andrew Wiggins had a great year last year, but no one, in my opinion, suffered more. I would even say more than Steph Curry at times. No one suffered more from the lack of depth than Andrew Wiggins. His legs were not allowed to take a night off.
They were shot.
His defense was not allowed to slip at any point all year. And I felt like by the time we got to the end of the year, all of the energy that he exerted, because they had no other perimeter defenders, because they had really no other scoring options off the bench, I felt like he hit a wall, and it really hurt him in the final 3 games of the year. And I think a lot of people are hell-bent on what happened in the final 3 games of the year, and they're omitting what happened in the 80 games leading up to that, or 70, whatever it ended up being. I think it was 72 total games. Or
72 total games.
Yeah. He played a great year last year, and I think that he benefits from Iguodala addition, the Bielitsa addition. I think he is going to benefit from a full season of Jordan Poole on the big league team this year. So I love where Wiggins is at this year, kind of flying under the radar. Now let's get to Draymond Green.
Learning from Iguodala from Andrew Wiggins, who averaged 18.5 last year, 5 rebounds.
Invaluable.
And the block shots. He had a lot of weak side block shots. learning from Andre Iguodala, you cannot overlook that. The wisdom that Andre Iguodala has that he's going to impart to Andrew Wiggins, I think is huge. And then having Otto Porter Jr., some people are calling him Automatic Jr., Automatic Porter.
Automatic, systematic.
Man, this guy, he was draining threes.
Warriors win championship, baby.
He looked good in the preseason, man.
My greatest hits.
He looked good in the preseason.
Well, so, Bonte, you're bringing up all these guys. I want to get to Draymond real quick before we get to Jordan Poole, because I do want to get into Jordan Poole. I think he's very important this year. Draymond Green had an article yesterday with Logan Murdoch of The Ringer.
Yeah.
It was a very expansive interview where he touched on a variety of topics. I am vowing to you, B, as my partner, I am not going to allow the things Draymond says and the shenanigans that he pulls affect how I view him as a player. I think too many times I allow all of the other stuff to get into how I view Draymond Green on the court at times because it's so frustrating. He had a great summer. And the guy that I saw in those exhibition games looked a little different to me. It was subtle. Taking the corner three, taking the top of the key three. I don't even care if you hit it, Draymond. I loved that he was open to ripping the ball. Draymond Green, I think, can have a monster year this year.
You know, I thought his last 3 months, what was it, about February, maybe March, where he flipped a switch and he started dropping all those triple-doubles. And I said, Draymond's playing at a very high level, offensively, defensively. But the one thing that lacked was taking the open three. When it presented himself. Warriors, Bob Myers, Steve Kerr told this guy over and over and over for the last 3 months, shoot the ball.
Yes.
Be aggressive offensively. We're different when you're aggressive. And you think about all the games they won when he scored at least 8 points per game. All right? When he scored at least 8 points per game, the Warriors were a dominant basketball team. I think Draymond Green is going to remind everybody what type of championship heart he has.
Yes.
What type of IQ he has and what type of player he is. Draymond Green is going to win his fans. The fans that have lost, that have said, you know what, I'm out on Draymond Green, they're going to be back in this year. I promise you that. Draymond Green is going to have a big year because they could taste it. They can feel it. People have slept on his team. They kicked them when they were down.
Yes.
And now they got some dogs.
Yeah.
Now they got some young pups who are turning into big dogs. And I think Draymond Green's and some hungry vets.
They've got a couple of guys that really want to shake the perception of who they were.
No doubt.
B, you bring up Draymond Green. I think one of the things that they lacked last year was that funny guy. And this is going to, when you're in a small, tight-knit group and one guy is on edge at all times, believe me, I'm usually that guy, it's nice to have somebody dropping the one-liners. Andre Iguodala, forget the court impact. Having him in the building as kind of the old wise man around Draymond Green, especially when he's addressing the younger players and some of the people that he's going to get frustrated with, I think Andre Iguodala is going to have such a positive impact on this team with his fingerprints all over these relationships.
And having Klay Thompson back around.
Oh, well, thank God.
Klay Thompson, the glue, right? Iguodala, and then you get Klay Thompson coming back. We're going to talk a lot of Warriors today. We'll talk to Jim Barnett, the longtime voice of the Golden State Warriors. Look, to open the season, the 60th in the Bay Area. I want to talk to JB. He knows the history of this franchise. He's been through the ups. He's been through the downs. A lot more downs. And the ups. So we'll talk to JB at 8:30. Dave Fleming to wrap up our season with Flem. I'm going to miss Flem. This will be the last time we talk to him this season at 8 a.m. We'll do it again next year, no doubt about that, to wrap up the Giants season. And Flem already heard him on College Football Saturday. His season, his career's already moved on. He's already in football mode, so we'll talk to Flem at 8 o'clock. But we'll talk a lot of Warriors today, and that's what's coming up on the game. Brought to you by Outdoor Supply Hardware.
Live near, work here. Outdoor Supply Hardware is hiring. Build a future at your neighborhood.
hoops. Maybe you've just been in Sacramento and you've been around that losing basketball for so long. It's permeated your brain, and it's got you thinking toxic about the Warriors. This team, I think, is primed to be a top 4. We're going to get to Fred and Richmond in just a second. Hang on tight, Fred. We'll get to you in just a second. But I'm looking at Draymond Green, right? Can he average over 7.5 points per game? There's a prop on Bovada, I believe, and Langford may know this. Draymond Green, there's a prop on Bovada. Can Draymond Green average over 7.5 points per game? Now, the Warriors' record last season, when Draymond Green scored 8 or more points in a game, they were 20-5. 20-5. That's pretty impressive. 20-5.
What does that tell you?
It tells you that he needs to score and be aggressive.
Well, and I think that there's there's nuance here, right? Everyone thinks, Draymond, he needs to score 20 points a game means you're gunning if you're Draymond Green. I'm not asking him to gun.
Wait, who told us? Was it Ryan Hollis who said, he needs to average like 17 a game?
No. I'm talking about 3 or 4 layups a game. That's you know what 8 points is, Bonte? It's 3 layups and a couple free throws. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Hit a 3.
Yep.
Sink a layup when it's presented. How many times last year did the C part and he goes down the middle after a nice high pick and roll, and he just either throws it into a defender's hand because nobody sees him as a threat, or he just whiffs a layup like he did on the final play of the year. All we're asking him to be is assertive. That's it. And I saw that from him during the exhibition series. I saw a guy that was realizing, okay, if I take this corner 3 as it's open, as Nelly used to say, a shot created is a shot that must be taken, and I agree with that. We're going to settle for a worse shot if I don't take this. That's all I want him to do is take the shots in rhythm. And the irony is, he can hit a lot of these shots.
No
doubt.
No
one's saying that he's, Anderson Varejao out there. He actually can score around the rim.
Doubt.
So I'm all about it. 8 points. I think that's a very fair hurdle to climb.
I want him to shoot 5 threes a game. Just shoot 5 threes a game.
Interesting.
He's going to be open. Just shoot 5 threes a game. I'm cool with that. And then now I get it. Steph Curry coming off a curl, you're going to get the ball to Curry. He's the best three-point shooter.
Everyone will.
He's the greatest. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But there's going to be shots that are open for him. Go ahead and jack him up. Let's go to Fred real quick in Richmond. And don't forget, Warriors pregame here on 95.7. The game will begin at 5:30. Damon Bruce and Ray Ratto. They'll have the pregame chatter for you right here on 95.7 and Game. Your home for Warriors basketball. What's up, Fred? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, y'all. Thanks for having me on. I was on my way to work, just driving, listening to the show. And,
Thank you.
I just had this premonition, man. I've been watching Jordan Poole. This is his 3rd season out of Michigan, man, and he just looks like he's ready to take that next step, man. I was making this bold prediction with my partners the other day, saying that he might get Most Improved Player of the Year this season, because all he needs to average is a nice 16 to 18 points and shoot that open corner jumper when they double in staff off the pick and roll, and Draymond going to always find him. And I don't know. It just seemed like Draymond probably really got in his ear on the off season, even though he was doing the Olympics, but he still kept in contact with the young players on the team. And I don't know. I watched the preseason, all 6 games, and he just seemed like he's going to be shooting that thing this season. And I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that.
It's a good call, Fred.
I am all over the Jordan Poole thing. Everybody has very good reason to be excited. The only thing I worry about with Jordan Poole,
defense.
It's not necessarily defense. It's can he finish out the full season, right? That's the only thing I'm worried about right now. I think he's going to have extreme highs, and there's going to be some lows. That's what happens during an NBA season. Steph Curry, look at Steph Curry in game 1s of a year. He's kind of a lackluster shooter in game 1 of a year.
And don't forget about Staples.
So Jordan Poole played 51 games last year, and I think if we're being fair, he finished a lot stronger than it started, and there was some very low lows in the middle where he got sent back down to the G League. For me, yes, defense is absolutely a factor. I think defense for this team is a question mark, at least on the perimeter for me early on in the season. But Jordan Poole, can he put together a full body of work this year? Can he give me about 75 games? Because that's the thing I'm looking at. Look, Steph's up there in age. Klay Thompson's coming back from an injury. Of the guards that are, someone that I'm going to look to play 75 or more games, Jordan Poole, I'm looking right at you. There are so many minutes to be had for this Warrior team, and the young legs, the fresh legs, and that's what I need throughout the regular season.
I'm looking at Jordan Poole last year. I'm looking at his splits. January, 11 games. Averaged 5.5 points per game. That's coming off of 4 games in December when he averaged 6.5 points per game. Then he goes down to the G League. We don't see him. We don't see him until March, right? Mid-March, he plays 11 games, starts 5. All of a sudden, he comes back, averages 18.5.
He looks fantastic.
All right, he took a little dip in April, 10 points per game. Then he finished off the season in May, 9 games. 23 minutes, about 23, 24 minutes a game. Nearly 18 points per game with the 2 assists and 2 rebounds.
What
and
was
the
the
three-point percentage was nearly 36% in the month of May. When he came back in March, 3-point percentage is at 39%.
Yeah, I think he's better because overall for the year, he was at about 35%.
Yeah.
He's got to be closer to 40 this year. I think he will be. I think shot selection was a problem with him for especially year 1 and into parts of year 2.
But he came back in year 1 after going to the G League and started to put together some good games. And the same thing happened this year.
He was, too, in year 1. It was year 1 I throw out the window, right? But like, B, don't you think he's a better shooter than what the numbers indicated?
Well, he's a better shooter and he's a better playmaker.
I agree.
Than we all anticipated. This guy with the ball in his hands can make plays. The mid-range jumper, the fadeaway, the ball handling, getting to the rack. This guy has special talent. I've heard Jordan Clarkson name thrown out there as a comp for Jordan Poole. I'm not mad at that as a guy who can give you instant offense. But he's going to probably start a lot of games at the 2-guard spot up until Klay Thompson gets back. It's imperative for him to get off to another strong start. He hasn't had strong starts through his first 2 years. I think he's thinking about that, saying, I'm coming out fast, I'm coming out hot, I'm going to come out guns blazing here. Most improved player? Possible. It's definitely possible, but I think this could be a big-time season for Jordan Poole because the opportunities to shoot playing off of Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins are going to be there. And the way he finished the season, again, I liked him playing in crunch time in the play-in game against Memphis. I liked him playing in crunch time in a play-in tournament against the LA Lakers and taking big shots. He's not afraid of the shot, and that I could live with that.
We all agree Steph Curry, most important player. Draymond Green, right up there. Klay Thompson, when his return and everything that is wrapped around that, super important. But for me, the litmus test, the microcosm of how good the Warriors will be, how good they will, it's the guys like Jordan Poole. Like, what is Jordan Poole going to mature into? You're hitting the nail right on the head here. Perimeter defense, we shall see. The finishing at the rim, that's the area for me, and getting to the free throw line on a team, quite frankly, that doesn't get to the free throw line. That was the one thing about Kevin Durant that I think teams really got frustrated with the Warriors. He would go to the charity stripe, slow it down when need be, and frustrate other opponents, and then get those free shots, and then start to see the ball go in the hoop, and then it just opens up all the offense. Same thing with Jordan Poole. His unorthodox dribbling and finishing around the rim.
Now, he gets in trouble when he dribbles too much.
I agree.
You got to slow down on some of the dribbling there, and Klay Thompson and those guys have gotten on him.
But he can draw fouls.
But he can draw fouls and get to the free throw line.
And that's the thing that this team needs.
They do need that, no doubt about that. By the way, shout out to Michael out there in Taiwan. Said I've been living in Taiwan for years and miss listening to 95.7 The Game. Wanted to shout us out. So what's up, Taiwan? And our boy NTD69. If he's not throwing shade at you, he's throwing shade at me. That boy Joe, a.k.a. Bia, knows what he is talking about. Join the party, Bonte. He's always throwing shade at one of us. NTD69, he's fired up for Warriors basketball, as we all are fired up for Warriors basketball. Tonight it begins, 7 p.m. tip, down at Staples Center.
So excited.
Lakers, Warriors, as this segment was, presented by Go to State Lumber. As an essential service, their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit GoToStateLumber.com.
Dub Nation, welcome back.
Jumper good for Curry. It's a 2. It's a 7-point game.
Water designs our life. Who designs for water? Visit Moen.com to learn more.
Okay, my shipments have to get to customers on time and looking good.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has small business shipping covered with premium shipping supplies and UPS shipping services. And now, buy two, get one free on select shipping supplies like bubble roll and premium shipping boxes. Plus, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
Hey, it's Boomer Esiason. When you have your own business, you basically have to do everything. That includes hiring, which can become a second job. That's why there's Indeed, the all-in-one hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. With smart tools like Instant Match, you instantly get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description the minute you sponsor a job. Spend less time sifting through resumes and more time saying, you're hired. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Okay, my shipments have to get to customers on time and looking good.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has small business shipping covered with premium shipping supplies and UPS shipping services. And now, buy two, get one free on select shipping supplies like bubble roll and premium shipping boxes. Plus, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get two great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today.
Curry catches. It's a three. Got fouled. It's up and good. Smith Jr. got into his airspace. And Curry with another three. 40 points for Steph Curry with 1:05 to go in the quarter.
Now, back to the morning roast. Presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Oh, baby, they're back. The Warriors are back. Steph Curry's back. That's the voice of the Warriors. Tim Roy right here on 95.7 The Game. He'll be on the call. Tip-off 7 p.m. Don't forget about Warriors. Pregame with Damon Bruce and Ray Ratto at 5:30. Tip-off again, 7 p.m. down at Staples Center. It is the first game of the regular season. And the Warriors, what do you know? They went undefeated in the preseason, mopping up the Portland Trailblazers Friday night. Steph Curry dropping 41. And just, Shasky, I won't for a minute. We'll get into the Giants for a second and the Niners, and we'll get back into the Warriors. But for a second, that man Stephen Curry. He's a 7-time All-Star. We know he's a 3-time champ. He's a 2-time scoring champ. And he played like an MVP last year. Played like an MVP. Missed 9 games. Where would the record have been? They were 39-33 without 39-33 with Stephen Curry in the regular season. Excuse me. He missed 9 games.
Yeah.
They were a couple games away from being a 5 seed last season. Last season. Despite everything that went on with that basketball team.
I mean, they were 5 deep at one point.
They were running 6 deep.
I think they had one guy over 6'7" for the final 2 months of the season.
Dude, they were playing small ball.
I don't think people understand how difficult that is.
It was 7 dudes. Damian Lee was out. Obviously Kelly Oubre Jr. was out. James Wiseman was out. Michael Mulder, you're giving heavy minutes, who, by the way, they just cut off the basketball team. It was bad last year. They were running off fumes towards the end of the season.
I mean, Bonte, the team, I think what they play, 7 guys in the 2 closeout games?
7 guys.
Yeah. Okay, 7.
And Steph Curry still averaged, despite all the intention on him, in the month of May. Look at these. Hold on. I just want you to sit back for a second.
Give it to me.
In the month of April and May.
Give it to me.
This guy averaged 37 points per game in April.
Come on, man.
And 37 points per game in May. Well, 36.8, but I'm going to round up because it sounds better.
Come on, man.
37 a game over the last 2 months of the season. That's 23 games, Shasky.
I mean, Bonte, he is Jerry Rice, he's Barry Bonds, he's Joe Montana, he's Willie Mays. That's what he is at this point. You know, my dad always talked about Rick Barry, Wilt Chamberlain. Like, those were the guys when the Warriors first moved here. Obviously Wilt Chamberlain, and then Rick Barry in the late '60s and into the '70s. But Rick bounced around. In my life, all I know is Steph Curry as the greatest Warrior of all time. And it's not even close. I love Chris Mullin. You get a chance to work with him every day. Chris Mullin, every kid in the Bay Area was either Hardaway, Richmond, or Mullin at one point in their backyard.
No doubt.
Right? Everyone.
No doubt.
I was Chris Mullin, like the jumper.
Right.
I didn't even shoot left-handed, and I wanted to be Chris Mullin. The Steph Curry effect in this market is unreal, and he's too good to be true. I mean, that's literally what this guy is, and he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. When it's all said and done, whether he's the greatest point guard of all time, whether he's the second greatest point guard of all time, maybe people have him as the third greatest point guard of all time. That's incredible.
Incredible.
Forget where you got him. The fact that he's probably a top 15 player by everyone's estimation of all time is one of the most incredible things of all time. And yet somehow I feel like we don't even appreciate him enough. I really don't. Like, myself included. I'm at the front of the line.
Take it for granted, huh?
It's not even take for granted.
It's just like you
I
see
expect
it,
the normal.
right?
And like, no, this is abnormal. This is extraordinary. And yet sometimes I'm like, oh my God, Steph. I just throw my hands up like, what is this guy doing?
Now you get Steph, Draymond, and Klay. They're entering their 10th season together.
That's just
as a trio.
Unreal.
Now, we made a big deal about Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, and Buster Posey entering their 10th season together. But this threesome here with Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, I would say is more accomplished than Posey, Crawford, and Brandon Belt. Crawford is accomplished. Posey's accomplished. He's maybe going to the Hall of Fame one day.
Mm-hmm.
But these three guys are going to the Hall of Fame. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Stephen Curry. And just their impact on the game. Like, Brandon Belt has been up and down, up and down, up and down. And now people are going to throw it in your face. Brandon Belt, you see, you underappreciated him. Maybe, but I know what I saw with Brandon Belt. There's a lot of up and downs with him. And heck, he got hurt at the end of the season. Now, it wasn't his fault. He got hit by a pitch. But there's a lot of up and downs with Brandon Belt. Klay Thompson just got better and better and better. Draymond Green got better, better, and better. Stephen Curry continues to get better, better, and better. And when those fans enter Chase Center, those fans, and that's the thing that we were asked around in NBC yesterday. What's some of the things you're excited about this season? Well, everybody's saying Steph and Jordan Poole and Wiggins, and to me, it's the bench, and it's when the fans go back to Chase Center, because for the first time, Chase Center is going to have a good basketball team in front of them. And what will that home court advantage be like at Chase Center? I think we got a glimpse of it in the preseason.
Yeah.
Chase Center was 60% filled Friday night against Portland. And did you hear that crowd when Steph Curry was on that flurry?
It was unreal.
When he goes on these third quarter flurries, and when Klay Thompson gets back, and Jordan Poole is making moves and embarrassing people, that crowd at Chase Center, it's going to be, look, Oracle Arena is going to be Oracle Arena. It's iconic. It's historic. What was done at Oracle Arena could probably never be duplicated. But I think Chase Center is going to make a name for itself because Warrior fans are hungry. And I think that's the underrated aspect that nobody's really talking about. That home court advantage this season, Shasky, I think it's going to be big for this team.
And I'm totally with you, B, on the home court advantage. Back to Curry specifically, though. I think we make so much about minutes played per game, right? When you agree, like, he doesn't play enough minutes. He doesn't play enough minutes.
Minutes just fine.
I'm looking at someone like Chris Paul. I'm going to give you a couple different players, and I've been thinking about this long and hard all offseason. Like, what's the sweet spot for minutes played for Steph Curry, right? On one night, it might be 25 minutes. On another night, it might be 33 minutes. Like, I don't know. But overall, minutes per game, Chris Paul, who has been infinitely more injured than Steph Curry. I want to read you the last two seasons when he was 34 and 35, and I use him as a reference point because he's a point guard, and he's from the same era. I don't think it's fair to go back to different eras because the nutrition and how these guys look at their body and how much basketball they play, it's so different now. So I want to go with his own peers. 70 games played the last two seasons for Chris Paul, averaged 31 and a half minutes both years. Career rejuvenation for Chris Paul on both teams, both the Oklahoma City team and on the Phoenix Suns team. And he was surrounded by better talent in Phoenix, and you saw a great uptick in all of his statistics and his efficiencies across the board. And now I'm going to give you somebody else who I don't think kept his body in the greatest shape as well as Chris Paul did, and had a rejuvenation at 35, 36 years old. And it goes back to Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is a bigger guy. He wasn't somebody that I associated with picture-perfect body and conditioning and all those things. Bonte, he played 33 minutes a game at 35 years old. 58 games once he got signed by the Portland Trailblazers 2 years ago. And then last year, down to 25 minutes a game. But he was really efficient and really effective. Now, Carmelo wasn't carrying a team the way Steph Curry is. But where I'm going at with this is Steph keeps his body in tip-top shape. And I look around all the other players in the league that are in his age bracket. LeBron James is an outlier. I hate using him as the standard because we know he's done things that are freakish. But Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony, they're about the same age as Steph Curry. They've been as good as ever the last couple of years in terms of how effective they've been on the court, how efficient they've been. I think Steph Curry's got a sweet spot for the next couple of years, and this year in particular, I think we're going to see a more effective, efficient, fresher version of him because the talent around him's better.
If that's the case, then we're in for a historic season. Because last year, he had a historic season. When you think about the efficiency, when you think about the shot making, when you think about the points per game, when you think about the assist, you think about the rebounds, you think about the free throw shooting with Stephen Curry. If all those things ring true, Shasky, then we're in for one of the best seasons of his career. Because last year, I believe, was a top 3 season of all time. Hell, in a way, it may have been better than this unanimous MVP season. Because you look at what was around him, all the attention on him, and still to be able to carry this. The dude averaged 37 in a month.
Yeah.
He won Western Conference Player of the Month by averaging 35 a month, 50, 40, 90 on this team. And you had guys like Wiggins running on fumes, a young pup in Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, who, for whatever reason, didn't want to shoot as much last season. Steph Curry, if all those streaks read true, we're in for a big-time season, big-time basketball season for Steph.
And if somebody off him can just facilitate a little.
Well, Jordan Poole.
And that's what I'm saying. And Andrew Wiggins.
Iguodala,
Draymond Green. Like, imagine the rub-off that what these guys are going to get. If they can just get some open buckets around him, now you're not tripling him on every single play. Now you're not forcing him to run 75 times off of double screens underneath the rim, which, if we're being honest, off ball, it's more rugged than on ball these days.
Yeah, no
off
doubt.
ball for Steph Curry feels like he's a running back in the NFL. When he's on ball, feels like he's a protected quarterback in the pocket.
When he's off the ball, man, he is deadly.
He is.
You cannot lose him.
But there's some wear and tear with all the grabbing.
It is. There's a little bit, but he's stronger now.
He is.
And Brandon Payne,
He is.
his trainer from Accelerate Basketball, has helped him work on that. So I don't worry about it too much. Just scratching and whatever. Basketball is physical. That's what we want, is physical basketball. That's what it is. They're going to be physical with Stephen Curry because people think that, hey, you wear him down physically, but you know what? He gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on. So I don't off the ball, he's going to run people racket by just running around.
Yeah. Is there a player in the game whose conditioning is better than his?
No. Maybe Klay Thompson when he's right. That's the only guy.
Because when Jerry Rice was at the peak...
LeBron, you got to put LeBron James
I was going to say LeBron.
You got to put LeBron.
When Jerry Rice was at his peak, no one could compare to him conditioning-wise.
Russell Westbrook.
Actually, Westbrook's a very good one. No, that's a
Kevin
really,
Durant.
really good one. Durant's another one.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis's conditioning is incredible. Giannis is significantly younger.
Yep.
So I think LeBron James, because conditioning for LeBron James is the thing I'm most impressed with. Yes, he was born with the greatest body of all time. He also works at it all year round. I think he spends multiple millions of dollars on just his diet and his nutrition and all the stuff wrapped around the food that he eats and what he intakes. Steph Curry does the exact same thing. And I think we've kind of underestimated the amount of muscle he's put on his body and then the ability to stay in the top shape that he's in every single night.
Well, the Warriors, the 75th anniversary of Warriors basketball. 75th anniversary. It's going to be special. Talk about Wilt Chamberlain, Rick Barry. You talk about, Wilkes. You talk about Nate Thurman, Al Attles. Just legendary players. Chris Mullin, Tim Hardaway.
Are we going to get a statue this year at Chase Center? Do you think they're going to unveil something?
You always worry about these statues. I don't know.
Well, because I was thinking I saw this HD Wilt Chamberlain video that came across my timeline. Did you see that?
I did see that.
That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
I mean, that was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I don't worry about the statues, man. I'm worried about 75th anniversary Warriors basketball. It's the 60th since they moved from Philadelphia and came out to the Bay Area. 60 years in the Bay Area. And now look at them. Now look at where they're at now. Shiny new stadium downtown. You got Stephen Curry. You got Draymond Green. You got championships.
You got Bonte Hill doing pre and post.
I mean, I don't know if you want to mention that.
How many times are you guys going to be down there this year?
We'll be down there Thursday if it doesn't rain.
Okay.
And we're going to be down there quite often for home games.
Nice.
Quite often. So it'll be good to be back at Chase. I miss Chase Center.
Yeah.
I really do. I love being at those games, man. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Don't forget this last segment was presented by Golden State Lumber as an essential service. Their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit goldenstatelumber.com. Warriors basketball tonight. Lakers down at Staples Center. Don't forget, pregame right here on 95.7 The Game begins at 5:30 with Damon Bruce and Ray Rattle. Damon Bruce, Ray Rattle, 5:30. Tip off at 7 p.m. Catch me on TV at 6 p.m. as the on NBC Sports.
Is your outfit already picked out?
Yeah, I already got it out.
Yeah, look at it.
I already got it out. Well, I have to. I got a busy day. I got to get cut. I got to get the fresh line in.
You or Anna?
Oh, I did. But she
had influence. Give Anna some love. She's got way better style than you.
Stamp of approval.
All right, so
I did a lot of shopping yesterday. Spent way too much money.
No, good for you. Good for you.
A lot of new ties. Got the tie rack in there filled up.
Nice.
Feels good.
Nice. This is what I'm going to challenge our audience to do. I want someone to do what they do at game day. I don't know if you watch College Game Day in the mornings, but there'll be signs, and one of them was Wilmer Flores didn't swing. I don't know if you saw that over the weekend. Someone had
really
that.
Down at Georgia.
I swear to God.
Game Day was at Georgia.
Yeah, somebody
I did see a Cal flag randomly in Athens,
Cal
Georgia.
sucks. That game Friday night was horrible.
Dude, Cal does.
I don't even want to hear about Cal football. I mean, as much as I slandered Stanford, Cal is awful.
Well, I was with the Paynes. Lyle Payne, Drew Payne, Matt Payne. Those are my folks right there.
Major
we're chilling
Payne?
down. No major Payne. May as well be a major. But we're chilling down in Milo Atherton Sunday.
Big money.
And, the Paynes, they roll deep, baby. Those are my guys. They ain't no chumps. But they're big Cal guys. I used to go to all the Cal games with them. Basketball, football, not Giants games. And I was like, Coach, you been to a Warriors Cal game this year? He goes, nah. Coach is like, nah. It's tough. It's a tough scene. Just Wilcox, Chase, what's his name? Big Garbers.
Garbo?
He's been there for 8 years.
Yeah, well.
I like Cal football. I got love for Cal. Man, it's just tough to watch.
It is. But, let's turn the page.
Hey, this is true. 209. Shaska, they can build the statues when they suck.
Hey, you're not lying. So here's what I'm asking our audience. So like College Game Day, I want someone in the audience to show up to the Warriors when they're doing the pre and post out in front of Chase, and I want someone to hold up a sign and say, morning roast, 6 to 9, 95.7 The Game. Or Bonte, put Joe on FaceTime. Something like that. We need some creative signage.
I was waiting for you to be implemented.
Of course I'm going to be implemented. I might actually show up and have a fat head of Bonte and myself.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that happening.
Because I'm an authentic fan. I don't even get. Okay, it's for kids. Who cares? Can we get into some Giants and then get back into the Warriors?
Signs. Please don't get any signs, man. That's going to be ridiculous.
No, I want signs.
It's going to be a madhouse out there.
I can't wait.
Hey, Mullet's just like, oh, man. Like, they're already telling us you need 2 IFBs. IFBs. Do people know what IFBs are? It's the little earplugs where you can hear back to the studio. They're like, hey, Bonte, 2 minutes till break, 2 minutes till break. It's like the little earpieces. Yeah. And, Greg Papa, of course, has these 2 earpieces, and they're blasted all the way up.
Oh.
Mine are going to be halfway up, but you need 2. Oh. You need 2. You got to have, I can hear you. It's so loud out here outside of Chase Center. Now, especially after wins, and then when they bring the player out, it's going to be nuts.
I can already imagine it. I'm going to show up to the game. I'm going to be with my entire family.
Don't show up to NBC
Here's
Sports.
What's going to happen. I'm going to show up to the game. I'm going to be in the plaza.
Don't be that guy.
Let's go. Let's say what's up to my homie, my buddy. And you're going to be at break, and I'm going to turn around and be like, Bonte, it's me, the guy you work with every single day.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
And the next thing you know, Bonte's going to turn around, and he's going to big league me. I already know it. Not an unofficial head nod, not a thumbs up, not a wave, not a nod, nothing. It's going to be crickets.
I think I will big league you. Or I'm going to do what I do to everybody else. I'll turn around and give you the point. I see you. Give you the point.
Oh, the point.
The point. You know about the point?
I do know about the point.
So, Lakeford and Curly, when I go down to Levi Stadium or something, and everybody's, hey, Bonte, and I give them the point. Give them the point. I see you, dog. I see you. Then I tap my heart. See you, dog. See you. Think I'm going to give Shasky one of those. He brings his family behind me like a fangirl. Like you can't do that, Shasky.
Right.
Can't be a fanboy. Can't do that.
I just a little screen time.
No, you don't need it. You don't need to be that guy.
All right.
You don't need to be that guy.
So let's get into some Giants real quick.
Trust me.
Yeah,
You're not that
Langford,
guy.
please talk this guy. I don't want him doing that, Langford.
We're not.
Come on.
We're not going.
Langford would never do something like that.
No, we're going to get right back into the Warriors. I promise you. 10 minutes, right back
He's
into
lying,
the Warriors.
folks. Detective Tuesday. We got some
Farhan
questions.
Zaidi talked yesterday. That's the GM. I guess president. Is that what it is? I don't even know what his title is these days. I guess Scott,
President of Baseball Operations.
Yeah, and Scott is the GM. Anyway,
yes, Scott
he talked
Harris.
yesterday with the media, and he said a lot of fascinating things. I want to start with the top of the thing. It's been a couple of days to decompress from that loss, Bonte. You've watched a couple of games, Braves, Dodgers.
Did you watch them?
A little. Hate watching, yes.
I heard Mark Willard on yesterday saying, I can't watch them. I was just getting updates. Mark Willard, come on. Come on. Just be a big boy.
Hey,
watch the games.
These
are fascinating playoff games.
That's okay, whatever. Regardless, I love that they lost in
great
horrific fashion. I hate you, Dodgers. But I'm looking at the Giants right now, and I'm saying to myself, okay, deep breath. All right, we lost on Thursday. The season was awesome. It ended in a horrible way. It doesn't take away from how great the year was. It also doesn't mean that next year you're going to replicate or be anywhere near what you did this year.
Yeah.
Anywhere near what you did this year.
Yeah,
so
I'm worried.
to me, the first thing on deck is who are we bringing back? Buster Posey, club option. They're basically saying, like, we want Buster Posey back. We think he's one of the best catchers in the game. To me, it feels like Buster Posey, automatic multi-year deal. That's what I would put on the table. What would you do, Bonte?
Probably offer him a 2-year deal.
At least,
2-year
right?
extension.
I'd
Absolutely.
line him up with Crawford.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would do. But I'm looking at pitching. We talked about it all season. 4 starting pitchers are free agents.
I know.
Johnny Cueto probably gone.
Gone. Let's just we're not even waste our breath.
Anthony DeSclafani.
So to me, he's interesting. What does another team view him as? What does he view himself as?
Alex Wood. Where's Alex Wood
I
at?
think one of those two comes back and one is gone. I don't think both come back.
Kevin Gausman.
See, Gausman, I think, is the right fit. I think if you could get Gausman as your 3, Gausman as your 3, now we're talking. Because here's the thing with Gausman. He was great last year. But Bonte, I don't think he's as good as he was in the first half. But I don't think he's as bad as he was in the second half.
I'm with you. Here's what Farhan had to say about the priority for the Giants this offseason.
We have a number of free agents in the rotation, and we have interest in retaining all of those guys. But, this is probably the segment of the free agent market that's hardest to predict or pin down because it's a need that every team has, and it's a need that every team tries to address pretty aggressively. So there's a lot of competition. But again, I imagine that whether it's in conversations with our own guys, with some other sort of starting pitcher free agents who may be out there, and then, evaluating our own system, evaluating, players who may be out there who are, kind of spent this past season in the upper levels with other teams and guys that we view as potential trade candidates. I mean, we're going to kind of pursue all those avenues. But obviously, it's probably obvious looking at where our roster is going to be on paper, but that's going to be the number one priority for us.
All right, so
Number one priority, pitching.
Which I totally agree with. So I think top of the list, frontline stud starter, a guy that can be my 1 or my 2. You look at what you lost to. Just look at what you lost to. You lost to a team with basically 3 aces this year. Scherzer, Walker Buehler, and Urias. They were all studs this year. You need to be able to have at least 2 studs. And then I'll pull what I call the random, the lever pull of give me the 1-year deal for a DeSclafani or an Alex Wood. Those type of guys, those 4th, 5th, 6th starters. You can't have enough of those. But they need 1 stud to pair up with Logan Webb.
They do need 1 stud. By the way, that sound was courtesy of NBC Sports Bay Area. The music in the background, 925, I have no idea what that beat was, but it wasn't bad at all.
Bam, bam.
Look, Max Scherzer's a free agent. Clayton Kershaw.
I'm out on that.
Yeah, I know. What about Justin Verlander?
I would love Justin Verlander, but the price has to be right. To me, he's not getting anywhere near what Scherzer's getting.
Right. $38 million. He's 38 years old. What about Zach Greinke? He looks kind of. Is he pitching tonight?
He's still
Is
good.
He pitching today for the Astros? They need a shot in the arm with their pitching.
He's still good.
Lord.
Greinke. Again, price point. Scherzer, I don't think there's a price point that I would go over. For Scherzer, 2-year, I'd give him $75 million.
Marcus Stroman's a free agent.
He's a 4th, 5th starter. I don't think maybe a 3 in a good year. He's not the frontline guy that I'm looking for.
Noah Syndergaard could be on the block.
See, now so here's the thing with the Buster Posey. You give Buster a 2 or 3 year deal. What does that mean for Joey Bart?
I don't know.
Is he the guy that you could dangle out there in a Shohei or a Mets trade for one of their starting pitchers?
You got to do something with him. You have to do something with Joey Bart.
Wouldn't it have been nice to have him in those playoff games?
Why not give him a crack?
I mean,
just get him in the lineup. We'll get to Chris Bryant, and we'll talk to Dave Fleming at 8 o'clock here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game with Joe Shasky, Butcher, and Bonte Hill. Chris Bryant. Will Chris Bryant want to resign here? Because I think, pitching is nice, and you need pitching. There's no doubt about it. But the bats. We went over the stats. Yaz, Flores, Solano, Longoria, Dickerson, Casale, if you want to throw him in there.
Slater.
Wade Jr., Slater. 5 for 76. You need boppers. Look at Atlanta. They got boppers.
Yeah, they do.
Austin Riley. Freddie Freeman has done nothing, and they're still winning these two. So I need some bats. I need big bats. So get the bats in here and tell Chris Bryant, we're getting you protection.
Yeah.
We're getting you protection. We're going to re-sign you, but we're going to go get, maybe it's a Carlos Correa. I don't know. Maybe
Trevor Story.
I'm not on Trevor Story.
Seager
would be nice. Chris Taylor.
To me, they have to get another infielder, second, third baseman, a second shortstop who can play backup shortstop around Crawford, but you slide him over like Trey Turner got slid over, either to
Carlos
second
Correa.
or third.
Can he do that?
I would love either of those guys.
What's coming up in the game brought to you by California Department of Housing and Community Development. We're going to get back into the Golden State Warriors. We'll sprinkle in some 49ers football, and we'll have some fun with a Detective Tuesday. Who, what, when, where, why. We'll set it up on the other side and throw out the questions to the audience. 888-957-9570. Dub fans, where you at? We want to hear from you here on The Roast.
Has COVID-19 made it hard to pay your rent or utilities?
Date this season with all the barbecue and cooking accessories from Chef's Toys. With years of food service experience, their team is ready to elevate your game day parties. Visit one of 3 Northern California stores, Oakland, San Francisco, and Sacramento, or shop online at chefstoys.com with free shipping available.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your baby monitor research. If you're using too much diaper cream, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Aw, how old are they? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exogen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exogen.com.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
The moment you fire up a Gator UTV, the engine has your full attention. The completed job is on the horizon, and the trail meets its match. Just like that, you made short work of a long to-do list. Run with us on a John Deere Gator UTV. With effortless 4-wheel drive at the flip of a switch and our smoothest shifting transmission yet. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
With bacon strips and bacon crumbles cooked into a freshly cracked fried egg, buy 2 for $6 double bacon breakfast sandwiches. Have all the bacon you can imagine.
I'm imagining so much bacon, Jack.
Imagine more, Oscar. Only at Jack in the Box. Plus tax, limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
Loose ball Moody. Chioza cross court to Lee. In rhythm for 3. Doesn't get it. Tipped in again by Moody. This with a left hand. He flew in there to bank it home. 116-87 Warriors. 3:19 to go in preseason.
Yeah, Moody keeps getting those offensive rebounds. He may mess around and get a double-double.
Now, back to the Morning Roast. Presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Moses Moody, Modi Moody, Moody Modi. It's Moses. SEC Freshman of the Year, first-round pick.
When you look at
Moses Modi. I didn't catch that one. Moses Modi. Man, Kendrick Perkins. That was Tim Roy, Tom Tobert on the call right here on 95.7 The Game. Moses Moody looking better and better and better. He's got a smoothness to his game. I'm really feeling Moses Moody. What will he do tonight? How many minutes will he play as Warriors open up the season? They're 60th in the Bay Area tonight against the LA Lakers down to Staples Center. Staples Center. Damer Bruce and Ray Rattle, 5:30 Warriors pregame. Tip-off at 7 p.m. right here on 95.7 The Game as we get into a little Detective Tuesday. Who, what, when, where, why? And let's throw out the phone number here, 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. Who will be the most important Warrior heading into this season? What is the Warriors' biggest flaw? When will Klay be Klay? Where do the Warriors finish in the West? And why will you have fun this year watching this basketball team? Don't forget to download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Michael Irvin on DRK yesterday and best moments on the game powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
All right, so you heard it. It's who, what, where, when, why Tuesday as we get ready for the Warriors.
Tuesday.
A Detective Tuesday.
Got to investigate.
I want everybody to line them up. 888-957-9570. We're going to rat-a-tat-tat them. Be ready to roll. Bonte, before we made the little transition to the break, you asked me a question about Chris Bryant, so I'm going to allow everyone to get in on the line now. We're going to get right back into the Golden State Warriors.
Again, let me get those questions out
Give
there
it to them again.
888-957-9570. Who, what, when, where, why? We had a lot of fun doing this a couple weeks ago. Who will be the most important Warrior this year? What is the Warriors' biggest flaw? When will Klay be Klay? Where do the Warriors finish in the West? And why will you have fun this year watching Warriors basketball? 888-957-9570. Line them up.
And we're going to answer those as well. And I've got some questions for Bonte. He's the host of Pre and Post on the Warriors flagship television network, NBC Bay Area. Obviously, we're going to be talking about him every single morning. You are the expert when it comes to the Warriors, and I'm going to be leaning on you all year. I want all the insights and the nuggy nugs that you can give our audience. And so I've got 10 questions on a Tuesday for Bonte Hill specifically that I want him to rat-a-tat-tat. But real quick on Chris Bryant before all these phone calls line up on the Warriors. The San Francisco Giants made a very shrewd trade to go get themselves Chris Bryant, and I thought it was a perfect shot in the arm. There was a time in maybe the final 2.5 weeks of the season where Chris Bryant looked a little tired.
Yeah.
He had some dead legs, and then he took a couple days off. He showed up in that playoff series.
He did.
He showed up.
He showed up.
Now, they have no money on the books next year. Buster Posey club option. They're not going to accept the club option for Johnny Cueto. Crawford's on the books. Longoria's on the books. Those are your only multi-million-dollar deals in terms of over $10 million. You have 16 for Craw, 19 for Longoria.
Oof.
And then you got 5 for LaStella. Everybody else is a club option or under $2 million. So,
and Brennan Belt, free agent.
Bonte, they have no money accounted for next year. Now, that doesn't mean spend like a drunken sailor and try to overcompensate for what you did this year and pay everyone. I'm not saying that. There is a threshold, and I understand there are numbers. Chris Bryant fits. He fits with the Giants. He works with the Giants. I don't even know what position he is. But you know what? I know that his bat plays. And I know that his bat in this lineup helped this team have one of the greatest years of all time. Now, I think the number is somewhere in the 4 or 5 year range, $150 million range. If he wants $200 million, that might be a little too steep for me. I'm not categorically dismissing it. I'm just saying I can understand from the organizational standpoint that might be a little too steep for me.
Right.
If you do not bring back Chris Bryant, you better be in on somebody else who's an outfielder, because this team needs pop and they need legitimate professional bats that you can plug into the lineup every single day. If I took Chris Bryant out of this lineup, Bonte, now I have 3 penciled-in starters in Longoria, Crawford, Posey. I have a free agent named Brandon Belt, and I really don't know what we're going to do with Belt. We could talk about that all offseason. Today's not the day. But if you don't bring back Chris Bryant, I'm not platooning 5 everyday positions. I just can't do it.
Chris Bryant batted .471 in a divisional series against the Dodgers.
Got to pay somebody.
8 hits and 17 at-bats, a home run, 2 RBIs. Chris Bryant was really, really good in that playoff series. Here's what Farhan Zaidi, president of baseball operations, had to say about re-signing Chris Bryant.
Looking at his stretch with us, I know there was a lot of talk on how he got off to a good start, a homer his first game, and then his numbers weren't quite at the same level in September. But that's just the reality of a really small sample when you get traded at the deadline. You've got 2 months with a team, 50, 60 games. Every player is going to have hot and cold spells. It's just the reality of the sport, and I think for someone like him it gets under a greater microscope. But to Cap's point, to his credit, he was the same guy all along, continued to move around the field, and it was really, I thought, an impact player for us in the DS, and that's what we got him for. And for us, the move at the deadline was really about pushing chips in with this team, which we thought was a really special team and had a chance to do some special things and did. But we recognize that he's a superstar talent, and it's going to be a really competitive market for his services, and I'm sure we'll have conversations there, but he's going to have a long line of suitors, so we'll just have to see how that develops.
I don't like that answer. I'll say it out the front end. I don't like that answer. I don't like the answer.
Yeah, why not?
There's going to be it's going to be competitive. There's a long line of suitors. No, just we need to do what we need to do to re-sign Chris Bryant.
I would appreciate that too, but you know how they are. They're never going to tip their hand fully. Here's the thing that I think is the elephant in the room. There's two parts to this. Number one, the CBA. The CBA is going to be looming over all these decisions for potential free agents.
Maybe start on time.
Well, so I think the CBA is in part why Brandon Crawford took a 3-year deal when he did.
Yeah.
To me, Brandon Crawford...
2-year deal.
A 2-year extension, essentially. Yeah. Excuse me. I think Buster Posey's going to do the same thing. I think Buster Posey's going to say, hey, CBA is going to expire. I have no idea what the financials are going to look like. The leagues have no idea. I'm going to take the guaranteed money, stay at home. I'm a lifer, blah, 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 blah. Chris Bryant, we know is represented by Scott Boras. I think that's going to change how he views things. Maybe Scott Boras is blowing sweet nothings into his ear saying, we will crack the CBA. We're going to blow this money out the water. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that Chris Bryant, who got screwed by the Cubs because of the Super 2 thing, is going to finally hit free agency and then take a big discount.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
He's not going to take.
You better bring the bag.
But that's kind of where I'm going. And then with the CBA expiring, the DH is coming to the NL, and I'm here for it. So for years, the American League had an advantage. They can give some of these 29, 30, and 31-year-old guys like JD Martinez, they can give them that 6th, 7th, 8th year because they've got the DH in their back pocket. The NL, that is bad business to give those guys that are marginal outfielders or marginal first basemen those 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th years. Now you can if the DH comes here. It makes it more equitable for both leagues. Point I'm getting at, I am trying to bring back Chris Bryant, but if he is asking more than like 150, 160, I get it. I understand letting him go. But you better be in on somebody else.
No, you better be in on a few guys. All right? If Chris Bryant wants $200 million and I'm the Giants, I may not have any leverage right now. All right? Buster Posey's getting older.
Yes.
Not a lot of pop in that bat. Is Brandon Crawford going to hit 24 home runs next year and 90 RBIs?
I have a hard time thinking that both players are replicating what they did this year.
May have been an outlier.
I love them both.
Longoria.
Longoria's got 1 year left, and then it's just bit ado.
It's bye-bye.
And he's another guy. If I had it my way, he'd be platooning.
No doubt.
He would, because he's been hurt the last 3 years.
By the way, 888-957-9570. Line them up here.
Yeah.
Detective Tuesday.
Let's do this.
Who, what, when, where, why? Most important Warrior heading into the season. What is the Warriors' biggest flaw? When will Klay be Klay? Where do the Warriors finish in the West? And will you and why you will have fun watching Warriors basketball? Last thoughts on Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
You got Marcus Semien out there.
Yes, I would love Marcus Semien.
That wouldn't be bad.
I'd love him.
Carlos Correa.
I love him.
Carlos Correa.
Yeah, me too.
Because you know what? I was talking about this with the Pains
He's a good
over
villain
the weekend.
too.
He's a good villain. But one thing about this team, and I think a lot of people didn't catch on to him, were they were just like, they won 107 games. And they did it in so many different ways, right? Late inning home runs, great pitching.
Mm-hmm.
They did what they had to do to win 107. And an exciting 5-game series against the Dodgers. But, man, I watched the Braves. I watched the Astros. I watched the Red Sox. I watched the Dodgers. And I said, man, they pimp home runs. They're wearing gold chains. They got swagger. To me, that means something. When you talk about attracting people to the ballpark, and if all the people out there want to rip on the attendance, you're a contending team. There's only 28,000 on a Tuesday night, which I don't. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah.
But if you did have some of those type of players, guys who had some flair, some swagger, I think more people would show up to the ballpark. You need some stars. You need some sizzle. Think about Barry Bonds, the cockiest Major League Baseball player we've seen possibly in the last 25 years. Flair, swagger, pipping home runs, staring them down. How exciting was that?
It's so much fun. But here's the element that I don't think we talk enough in baseball, especially modern baseball, about. The Giants are one of the least athletic teams in baseball. One of the least athletic. When Chris Bryant got here, he instantly brought up the athleticism level.
May have been the best athlete on a baseball team.
He made an incredible catching center.
Ron Washington sending guys all over the place. They have so much speed.
That's what I'm saying.
The Dodgers, I think about Rocky 2. I think about Rocky 2 and the manager for Rocky. He goes, Rock, we're going to work on our speed. Speed's the key. They have no speed on the Giants.
And they were a horrible base running team this year if you look at the inside the numbers. So last bow on this, I want to get back into the awards. Today's a great Warrior Day. Dude. But last point on this, if you don't get Chris Bryant, somebody else like the Dodgers will, because they'll throw him in left field.
The Angels?
Yeah, the Angels.
The Padres?
So you got to have a backup plan if you're not going to go for Chris Bryant. And that's where I'm saying to myself, the number one thing that I would say if I'm running the Giants this year, obviously an elite starting pitcher to pair up with Logan Webb. The other part is I've got to get more athletic on my infield, and I've got to get more athletic in my outfield.
And I need some damn swagger on the baseball team.
I'm with you.
I want bat flips.
You know what? The move that would just, and I know you, I don't even know what the deal was. We can talk about it at another time.
Yeah.
I want Shohei. I want Shohei to come to the Giants more than anyone. I want it so bad.
I need swagger,
I would love to have. You get the DH and you bring Shohei in here, he'd be box office.
Give me Shohei. Give me Correa. Give me Simeon. Give me all these dudes.
Hey, Simeon.
Load it up. The Dodgers are going nowhere.
Well,
they're going nowhere.
With the La Stella injury at second, it is paramount that you get.
You could go flip La Stella for somebody.
I know. He's a $5 million player.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
They basically got 30-something million. $30 million accounted for next year. You got tons of money. I don't want to hear about them not having money. You got $300 million from Oracle. Figure it out.
Let's go back to the Warriors here. Let's do a little investigation here. Hit me with the beat, Langford. It's Warriors time. It's the season opener. Warriors, Lakers. 7 p.m. tip. Don't forget, Ratto and Damon Bruce, 5:30 p.m. with the pregame show right here on 95.7 The Game. I'll be on TV at 6 p.m. with Chris Mullen and Darrell, right? Kendra Andrews, Grant Liftman, Monty Poole, Kareth Burke, the whole crew. It'll be a lot of fun today. Talking some Warriors hoops. 888-957-9570. Who, what, when, where, why? Who will be the most important? It is.
Just
hey, listen.
Just give me a little.
So many rappers remixed this beat. So many rappers. Hey, so many rappers flipped this beat. Who, what, when, where, why? Who is the most important Warrior heading into the year? What is the Warriors' biggest flaw? When will Klay be Klay? Where do the Warriors finish in the West? And why will you have fun this year? Let's start it off.
Yeah, hey, when we go to you, be ready to go.
They're ready to roll.
Give your answers. Boom, in, out, in, out. We're going to be hitting you.
Our roasters know, and by the way, shout out to Timeless Coffee, the official coffee of the morning roast.
Fire me up after a day off yesterday.
I needed it. I needed to recharge. Let's go to Sean in Oakland. Get this party started. All right, Sean. Detective Tuesday, 5 questions. Who, what, when, where, why? Who, Sean, will be the most important Warrior heading into the season?
Of course, it's Steph Curry, but with a close second, Andrew Wiggins. If he goes 16-8, I think you crown him.
Ooh.
He's ready.
What is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
Third center. They're kind of light up top, so they need someone after Looney and Wiseman. So I need a third center.
I like that. When will Klay be Klay this year?
February 15th.
Ooh, I like the date. Where do the Warriors finish in the West?
4th seed.
I like that. Okay. And why will you have fun watching Warriors basketball this season?
Oh, it's the growth of Jordan Poole, definitely. Poole is a solid 6-man of the year candidate, and he's going to be the next Jamal Crawford.
Wow.
Hey, Sean, way to set the tone today on the morning roast.
Like Mookie Betts leading off a game, stealing second.
Dude, that's how you set the tone. Detective Tuesday here on the morning roast. Philmo Mike in the city.
Let's go, Mike.
Who, what, when, where, why? Philmo Mike. Who's the most important Warrior this season?
Draymond Green.
Ooh, I like that. Why?
Ooh.
Why Draymond?
Oh, his attitude, his attitude propels the team. Sort of like how Monte Ellis' attitude used to set precedent on the team. Mm-hmm. Draymond's overall attitude, if he's having a funny day, you gonna feel it, and the team gonna feel it. I think he's the most important Warrior.
All right, what is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
Interior grit.
That's a good call.
When will Klay be Klay?
Black History Month. Come on now.
Fillmore.
Where do the Warriors finish in the West?
I say the 4th seed because at the 4th seed, you sneaking up on people. If you top 3, you not. But 4th seed is perfect for them.
And why will you have fun watching Warriors hoops this season?
Bro, I've been watching Warriors basketball ever since Chris Webber dunked on Barkley with the behind the back. They're the most exciting, losingest, funnest team ever in California history. Nobody is no more funner than the Warriors. Win, lose, or draw. Everybody know this.
I love it.
Facts.
I love it. Film on Mike.
Have a good one, Mike.
Strong.
I miss you, bud.
So far, so good. 888-957-9570. Detective Tuesday. Who, what, when, where, why? Again, who will be the most important Warrior heading into the season? 888-957-9570. Detective Tuesday. Who, what, when, where, why? Again, who will be the most important Warrior heading into the season? What is the Warriors' biggest flaw? When will Klay be Klay? Who, what, when, where, why? Again, who will be the most important Warrior heading into the season? What is the Warriors' biggest flaw? When will Klay be Klay? Where do the Warriors finish in the West? And why will you have fun watching Warriors hoops?
You're like the Black Mark Summers right now. I feel like you're hosting a Nickelodeon show. I love it. I love the way you're teeing everything up. What was that Temple show that everybody used to watch back in the day?
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. That's what this feels like.
Yes, let's go to Pert and Hayward. Pert, what's happening? Who, what, when, where, why? Pert, who's the most important Warrior heading into the year?
It was, is, and always will be until he retires, Steph Curry.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
I'm not mad
can't
at
be
that.
mad.
What is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
James Wiseman in that position.
All right, when will Klay be Klay?
Unfortunately, Klay will not be Klay this year. He will be Klay. He's going to come back next year hard and strong.
Oh, Pert, you're bringing me down, man.
Nah,
You're killing my
I don't want to
vibe.
hear that.
Where do the Warriors finish in the West?
Second and third. Can't be mad at that.
Wow.
We're climbing.
Klay won't be Klay, but the Warriors finishing second and third. I do like that song a lot.
Started from the
why
bottom,
will you
now
have
we're
fun this year watching Warriors hoops?
Because the Warriors are back. Let's bring it back to 2014, 2015. Nobody expected that. So they're coming back. It's back to Warrior basketball. So everybody get ready.
I love it.
Just watch that that sideline. The players on the bench. If people have been watching the preseason, I know it's only preseason, but just look at the attitude on the bench.
I do like it.
Having fun. Everybody's cheering. It's just the preseason.
I totally agree.
I do love it. I
totally agree.
By the way, I was talking to some of my Laker fans who are excited about Kent Bazemore right now.
Oh.
And some people are like, you know what? Just wait until you get to Game 15 with the LA Lakers with Kent Bazemore. The Kent Bazemore experience. Now in LA. We'll see him tonight on the other side.
What's more likely this season? Kent Bazemore makes a play with his right hand, or Joe Shasky gets on NBC Bay Area?
Wow. You're really going to make this happen, huh? Just speaking it into existence.
Just keep jamming it in
I don't know,
there.
man. That's a tough one. Langford, what do you think, Langford?
I'll go Bazemore. I'm going to give Bazemore the benefit of the doubt here.
Me too. I mean, we may throw a Shasky tweet up. We may mention the show, but having him on, I don't think we got enough airtime for that, man. It's a lot of content to fill. A lot of content with this Warriors team. Where does Joe Shasky fit in that equation? That's a bonus question.
This is the difference between you and me. See, the offense needs to be predicated around you. You're kind of like Ben Simmons. There's a lot going on here. Myself, I'm more like a Bielitsa. I'm a supporting player. I fit in the read and react system. I just see where I fit in, and then I read it, and then I react to it.
Oh, I'll give you 2 weeks before you rip Bielitsa about something.
Hey, I like Bielitsa. He's a poor man's Gallinari, dude. I told you, dude. I like him.
All right, let's continue to roll.
It's the most I've ever seen him play ever.
Dude, he looks great. He looks motivated.
He lost some weight.
He did. He's going to tick off King fans this year.
Oh, there's no question.
He's already Damian Barley and KC.
Kings fans are triggered no matter what.
Triggered. He said, "Yeah, I didn't want to play with the Kings. I just didn't want to play."
Do you blame him? Do you?
Tamir in Oakland. Tamir. Who, what, where, why? Good morning, Tamir. Who will be the most important Warrior heading into the season?
It's always Steph Curry. If he gets injured, our season will not be the same.
No, you're right about that. What is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
For me, it's not even the players. I say it's the rotation, depending to see if we'll let the young players play or which veterans will step up when Curry goes to the bench. So it goes back to the most important player as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very difficult thing for them to massage throughout the year is how you use the young guys off the bench and in what roles and how they can gain some of their footing.
And Iguodala, how you manage him.
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you manage Andre Iguodala, Otto Porter Jr., and Bielitsa?
That's a good point.
When will Klay be Klay, Tamir?
Honestly, to me, I've been watching the workout videos, and me coming from Achilles, I think Klay will be Klay when he gets on the court.
Wow, I like that.
No worries about that. I'm seeing his shot is good and stuff, and the work ethic Klay has, I think he'll be fine once he's on the court.
All right, where do the Warriors finish in the West?
I got him in the top 3.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Why will you have fun watching Warriors hoops this season?
Because it's basketball, first off, and it's the Warriors. Like, you got Steph Curry, the best basketball player in the game. In our backyard in the Bay Area, you can't get no better than that. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm with you.
Tamir, strong stuff.
If we were to just, I know there are people that just don't like basketball, and I get that. for me, I think it's the most beautiful of all the sports in terms of the aesthetics and the energy and the excitement because it's nonstop. And I love the frenetic pacing of a basketball game. And I love the ability of, specifically in the NBA, I love watching a superstar be unstoppable.
Dude,
I know that you don't like James Harden, for example.
But it's the style of play.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is there's something that I find beautiful about the way he plays. Now, forget Harden. Throw him to the side. Steph Curry and the way he plays, everyone appreciates it.
Yes. James Harden game is not beautiful. Now, I'm eager to see what his game is like now that the NBA has got rid of the fouls. He did look sick, but now the foul calls where
Curry
he's
got
jumping
hung
into
up
guys.
on one of those in the preseason.
Yeah, and they didn't call it.
I
love
know.
it. I love
when
it.
he would throw it up with the left hand.
I love it. All right, let's finish this up with Chris and Luke. Chris and Luke, the last
Come on,
two
guys,
here.
let's go.
Chris on 580. Who, what, when, where, why? Who is the most important Warrior heading into the season?
I'm going to go say Kid Splash, Jordan Poole. He's going to be that spark, whether he starts or he's coming off the bench.
Jordan Poole getting a lot of love. Jordan Poole getting a lot of love.
I got a nickname for him.
What's that?
Not the kiddie pool, none of that. No, floaties. Because when you're in the kiddie pool, you got the floaties on. So we'll call him floaties until he graduates to swim trunks.
When will he be the Splash little brother?
I don't know.
Splash cousin? No? All right, kiddie pool. We'll work on that. We'll work on that one.
We're workshopping it.
What is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
Warriors' biggest flaw, just interior. We need another big.
Yeah, I think rebounding, and number one, rebounding. And I think rebounding can be overrated at times. For this team, clearing rebounds means finishing possessions and keeping teams off the glass for second chance opportunities.
Second chance points.
I think rebounding is crucial for this team.
Second chance points was a problem for the Warriors last season. When will Klay be Klay?
During the playoff push.
Oh, okay. I respect it. Where do you have the Warriors finishing in the Western Conference?
I got them top three.
Ooh, man, there's a lot of optimism.
There's a
Not
lot
one
of top
person thinks that
threes.
they're not making the playoffs.
Why will you have fun watching Warriors hoops this season?
Hey, everybody get your raincoats on because, deep zone, splash zone, whatever you want to call it. Love the spacing. It's going to be fun.
Hey, Warriors, great call, Chris, on 580. Good stuff there. Warriors will be jacking up a lot of threes this year. They're going to be bombing from all over the place.
So I'm thinking of like imagery for the new stadium because we really, the first year Steph got hurt.
Right.
Klay didn't play at all.
They won 15 games.
I'm thinking of like the Sutro bathhouses. I'm thinking of like that kind of water level. Like we got like the Chase Waterworks. Like we need some sort of analogy, metaphor, nickname. We need something with water. And I'm just trying to think like San Francisco.
The Bank by the Bay. Didn't you come up with that last year?
The Big Bank by the Bay.
Big Bank by the Bay.
It was a little wordy.
Yeah, we got to come
Not
up with
my best job.
We got to come up with something here. Luke in Oakland. Who, what, when, where, why? Luke, who is the most important player?
Guys, I think Steph Curry's health is number one, but Andrew Wiggins got to be the second, third best player on the team till Klay comes back.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm with him on that.
What is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
Interior defense, just the size and the lack of depth at the center position.
Yeah,
right.
especially when Looney's off the court early in games.
This is where Wiseman coming back. Wiseman coming back is going to be huge for the Warriors here because he looks stronger and bulkier, and he knows he has to rebound better than he did a season ago. When will Klay be Klay?
All-Star break.
Okay. Where do the Warriors finish in the West?
I think they're finishing fourth.
I like it.
If they finish fourth, I would be elated.
Dude, they finished fourth with home court advantage in the first round.
I would be elated.
Oof. Why
also,
will you
my
have
bank
fun?
account would be drained.
Why will you have fun watching Warriors basketball?
It's just one more step towards the world feeling right again after all this COVID.
I totally agree with you.
Well said, Luke. Well said.
I totally agree with you.
Well
Thanks
said.
for calling in,
All right,
Luke.
let's go to Tsunami real quick. Not Tsunami Poppy. Not Tsunami
with
Poppy.
The Pikachu pants?
He's hanging out in North Carolina. I don't think Tsunami Poppy.
North Carolina.
I don't think he's in San Jose. He got the hell out the Bay Area real quick after the season. Tsunami. Who, what, when, where, why? Who's the most important Warrior heading into the year?
Oh, that's none other than our boy Wardell.
Wardell Curry, no doubt. What is the Warriors' biggest flaw?
Nobody said this, but the injury bug. They're injury prone, and if they stay healthy, no one can compete with them.
Yeah. When will Klay be Klay?
Well, when that's going to happen. When you wake up on December 25th and they're down in the Valley of the Sun, who's going to be popping in threes down there.
Well, I got to say, Klay's not making a return on the road. He's going to make a return on the road. And the Christmas date, I'm not so sure about that. I would brace yourself for maybe early January. Not sure about Christmas. But where do the Warriors finish in the West?
All right.
Where do the Warriors finish in the West?
Third or fourth.
A lot of optimism, man. I like it. Why will you have fun watching Warriors basketball this season?
Before I answer that, hey, Sanford Shafty, here's a good idea for you. Fly that flag, brother, behind Bonte on the NBC Sports Bay Area.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
Yeah,
I'm feeling that.
You guys go. You guys going to ruin the show, man. Going to ruin the show.
Me and
get
my
me fired.
posse down on Warrior Way.
You guys are gonna get me fired.
Fly the flag.
Let's go.
Man, great stuff, Tsunami.
You know what I'm
hey,
thinking?
that was a lot of fun.
What I'm thinking I'm wearing? I might get my dad's city shoe. You know, like when you work for the city and you're in different parts of the labor force for the city, they give you like this like yellow hazard suit that you wear in the rain. It's called the Slicker.
Hey, those suits are hard.
I'm thinking I might wear that into Oracle one night when it's a splash house. You know what I mean? When it's really going down, just to really hit hard during the rainy season when Steph's dropping down threes.
Lord,
and it's raining.
It's raining.
It's
By the
raining
way,
game in Northern California.
Chase Center is the splash zone. Splash zone. Trey by the Bay. Three by the Bay? 707, he's got a THRAE. Not sure about that one. Chase Center is a splash zone. B and Carmichael saying, I can't call him because I'm getting my kids ready for school. But I think the most important Warrior is Andre. If he could take control of that second unit to get them going, we're good. So our flaw of that second unit, they need to be productive. Klay will be ready by his third start. I think they finish fifth and destroy the Lakers in the playoffs, and I'm excited to watch the Dubs because they're the most exciting team in the association. That's B and Carmichael. And you know what? Being Carmichael, he may be the roaster today for that because he's getting his kids ready for school. And he's like, you know what? I got to hear what the roaster's saying. I got to get these who, what, when, where, why answers in. I got to get in on Detective Tuesday. So being Carmichael, while he's getting the kids ready for school, participating with the morning roast. So he is the roaster today. You got to give it to him, Shasta.
All right, so now I'm going to flip the script. You are the pre- and post-game host on television. You are going into everyone's living rooms every single night.
Is that a good thing? Me in our living room? I mean, it's bad enough we're on Twitch and YouTube.
Hey, look, my dad's really looking forward to it. He loves when you're on the television.
Oh, boy. All right. He likes the ties, huh?
He does. It feels like, honestly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, it feels like we made it as a family when we see you up there. I'm serious. My dad loves you. All right, I'm going to start. B, I want you to answer these, and I want you to be eloquent. You can expand on them. Who is the most important Warrior heading into this season for Bonte Hill?
Draymond Green.
Why?
He's a table setter. He's a tone setter. When he's locked in defensively and he's barking and he's communicating and he's bringing the ball up the floor, pushing the break, finding Steph Curry on a three-point line, going to the rack, running the five. Because, Steph Curry gets doubled at half court. So the Warriors get a lot of 4-on-5 opportunities, 4-on-4 opportunities there, or 4-on-3 opportunities, I should say, as Steph gets doubled. Draymond Green is going to be a key figure. And if he's in shape, and he looks like he's in phenomenal shape, coming off the Olympics, coming off of last season, and when he's playing at a high level defensively, and he's going to be more aggressive offensively, again, the Warriors are 20-5 last season when Draymond Green scored at least 8 points in a basketball game. 20-5. Now, we got to look into those games. Look, Draymond Green, to me, is the most important player. Of course, Steph Curry, he gets hurt. Season's going to be right in the
That's
car.
obvious.
But I'm assuming that it's going to be health.
Okay.
They're going to be a healthy team. If they're healthy,
let's take injuries, because I think
turn them off like a video game.
For all of these questions, injuries, obviously, it looms over everything. So let's just pretend like that doesn't exist.
I'm going Draymond Green there.
Okay. I know. I think that's awesome. All right. Now, what is the Warriors' biggest flaw heading into this season for you, B?
It's rebounding. It's clearing rebounds and not giving teams second chance opportunities. I feel like they got burned over and over last season. They would defend at a high. Look, this team finished fifth in the league in defensive efficiency. The defensive metrics, all that stuff, they were fifth in the league, despite all, whether or not Kelly Oubre Jr. fit or where Wiggins was at or where Wiseman was at. This team was fifth. They have to clear rebound, Chasky. As the West gets a little bit bigger, you see teams like the Lakers and the Clippers and the Nuggets. They're big teams. Clear rebounds and don't give teams second chance opportunities.
All right. So I'm dubbing it the Splash House, and you and I both agree Klay Thompson is going to make his return because Bob Myers told us that when we had him on, and we're going to have Bob throughout the year this year. I'm really looking forward to it.
Join us on Thursday, folks.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Just throwing that APB out there, Bob. If you're listening, we love you. We assume Klay will make his appearance at the Splash House first, the Chase Center first.
Yep.
But when will Klay, Bonte, be the Klay we love?
I think it's going to be Klay by the end of January. I really do. I think it's going to be. I think he's going to be Klay sooner rather than later. Now, are they going to manage him?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's not going to play back to back.
Yeah,
they're going to low management. He's not going to come out playing 35 minutes right off the rip. You're not going to do that to Klay Thompson. They'll ease him in. But that jumper. The jumper's only better now. All he's doing is shooting jumpers. So the jumper's going to be fine. The question is, can he defend at the high level that he was defending at before the injuries? He's guarding the Donovan Mitchells. He's guarding the Jamal Murrays. He's guarding the Kawhi Leonards. Can he still guard at a high level? We will see that in the first 2 weeks here. But I think by the end of January, we're going to be like, Klay's back. And his team's got a chance to compete for a title.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And I think one of the things, as much as we all love the big moves, standing pat has actually benefited them because you know what you're going to get defensively from Wiggins, and I think that takes a lot off of Klay's play. Let me get to the where, B. Where do you think? Now, again, I know you're biased because you're doing it every single day, but you were a realist last year. You didn't think that they were going to be one of the top 6 or 7 teams unless everything broke their way, which it didn't. And they did finish 7th last year in the seeding, and they lost in the play-in games. But where do you think the Warriors will finish in the West this year?
I've been on this since the draft. I've always believed since the draft that if they stood pat, and Wiggins is back, and Klay's going to be Klay, and Wiseman's just going to get better and better and better. And I like the fact that Wiseman hung out with Klay Thompson during the playoffs, watching playoff basketball games with him. That's the type of veteran Wiseman needed. Sure, the tough love for Draymond could be hard on some guys straight out of the league. But I think with the athleticism, like when Kuminga gets right and he's giving you 8 to 10 minutes, it's going to be a fun 8 to 10 minutes. Moses Moody.
It's going to be a very fun
Moses
grab bag
Moody.
of minutes.
Right. Who knows how much they play, but Otto Porter Jr. looks locked in. Bielitsa looks like he's got new life in the NBA. Andre Iguodala, you know what he's going to give you. This is a top 4 team in the Western Conference, and I believe this for the last 3 months. I really believe that the over 48.5, I'm leaning over. Because you look at the rest of the Western Conference, right? Let's just break it down. Lakers are old. They're going to low
They've got 3 guys with 15 or more years experience in their starting lineup.
Yeah, that's insane. All right? The Clippers don't have Kawhi Leonard to start. Jamal Murray's not going to be a Denver Nugget for a long time.
Yeah, he might be out almost the whole year.
Yeah, so same with Kawhi.
He hurt it very end of the year last year.
Kawhi Leonard as well.
I think he's done for the year.
Portland. Do we really believe in the Portland Trailblazers?
No.
Come on. Let's be real. The Portland Trailblazers are a joke.
Been there, done that.
They're a joke. All right? The Sacramento Kings, are they ready yet? Don't know. Dallas Mavericks. Luka. How much better did they get in the offseason?
There's a lot of stuff floating around Dallas and Luka. I'm out on them this year.
I'm out on them.
Yeah.
San Antonio.
Come on, San Antonio.
Even Langford looked up at me and said, come on, man. So that's what I'm saying here.
I know, you're
New
right.
Orleans. Phoenix will be good.
Of course.
But they have a problem with DeAndre Ayton.
The Ayton extension not being executed, I think that's going to linger.
And do we really believe in Utah?
I think they'll be a really good regular season team, but I didn't believe them last year, and last year everything rolled perfectly for them.
No doubt. So I'm thinking the Warriors, looking at the rest of the Western Conference, will be a top 5 team in the West.
All right, lastly, forget why you'll have fun. I know why you're going to have fun because you love basketball. Over, under 3 Jonathan Kuminga shoves by opponents this year.
Oh, that's over. Bank the over.
How many people is he going to get under the skin of?
Oh, dude, bank the over, man. I'm surprised the over-under isn't set at 15.5. All right? Now, he combine it with Santa Cruz, too. He's going to be in people's grills here as we get the Dave Fleming on the other side. We'll wrap up some more Giants baseball. Flem, how's he doing? Oh, man, it feels like it was 2 weeks ago, but it happened last Thursday when the Giants season ended on a check swing or not check swing by Wilmer Flores. We'll talk to Dave Fleming one last time. And we got to talk to Fleming. It can't be we got to do it once a month at least before we get to baseball season. But Flem will join us here on our morning roast, and that's what's coming up on The Game, brought to you by Outdoor Supply Hardware.
Outdoor Supply Hardware is having a harvest party sale. Right now, take 10% off in-stock Halloween decor and autumnal trimmings, fire safety essentials, and select in-stock generators.
unexpected bill, like what if your car breaks down right now? How are you paying the bill? If it's your transmission, that's over $3,000. Your engine, up to $6,000. Even minor repairs like your air conditioning can hit your wallet hard. Here's the good news. If you have a car, truck, or SUV that's $19.99 or newer, you can stop paying for repairs right now. That's right. With Protect My Car, when your car breaks down, we pay your repair bill for you. Just dial 800-279-2827 on your mobile phone now to get started. Protect My Car pays for repairs to your engine, transmission, air conditioning, suspension, and so much more. Dial 800-279-2827 and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Dial 800-279-2827 on your mobile phone right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Dial 800-279-2827 and never pay for car repairs again. Dial 800-279-2827.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1, San Francisco. On Odyssey Station. Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky. You've heard him call college football. 4th and goal. Nolan will try to sneak it, and he pushes in. You've heard him call San Francisco Giants baseball. So now Posey ranges away, and Bellinger throws it so high. Posey will come in to score. But we all know the crowning achievement in his career. He's our 95.7 The Game Giants insider.
To me, Buster is one of the top 10 catchers in the history of the game right now as of today, and that should be easily good enough to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Fleming.
And Dave Fleming is brought to you by the County of Santa Clara and Gorton Plastering, and we know what happened last Thursday, and we'll ask Flem at the end. He has to promise us he has to join us at least once a month during the off season. I know he's a busy guy. He's doing college football. He's doing golf. He's calling everything. But boy, the Giants season ended last Thursday night in heartbreaking fashion on a bad call, no doubt about it. But they lose 2-1 to the Dodgers in a best-of-5 extravaganza. And Dave, good morning. Have you gotten over it quite yet? How have you dealt with it? How have you decompressed? Because Shasky had to go on a golf course, and I mean, let me tell you, Friday's show was one for the ages. I didn't know he was going to last for 3 hours. How did you cope with the heartbreak from Thursday night?
Well, I did go. I had to work, so I did get on an airplane on Friday morning. So that did help me be distracted by what happened Thursday night. Now I'm talking to you guys from Red Sox country. So since the Giants season ended early, my brother does the Red Sox games, and they're still going. So he's got a brand new baby boy that I had never met. So I decided to come and meet my new nephew.
That's awesome.
So that's good. That's distracting. Because otherwise, if I just sit there and stew about it, it doesn't. It's not doing me any good. It's tough way to. Was Wilmer Flores going to get a hit against Scherzer? We don't know, but it was possible. Yeah. It's possible he was going to hit a walk-off home run that would have been an all-time Giants moment in the history of the franchise. It's possible. I would have liked to have seen if he could have done it. Horrible way for the season to end. I'll probably never get over that one exactly. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't a terrific year. And we talked about that, the three of us, going into that game, going into that week, about how no matter what happened, and I stand by that, no matter what happened in that series, this was an extraordinarily fun and successful season. And so I'm sticking to that. I really, truly believe that.
No, Dave, I think you're hitting the nail on the head. In the 8th inning, I'm sitting there next to my wife, and my wife goes, wow. It's Buster Posey. This is my wife. 1-1, 8th inning, game 5. I'm like, yeah, against the Hall of Famer and Jensen. Like this is everything that you would want. And I think for most Giants fans, last year started it, with the 60-game season. But people fell back in love, not just with baseball, but with the team itself. And there's so many positives to take away. I mean, I hate doing positive radio, but it's true. Logan Webb's a stud, an absolute stud. Craw and Posey are going nowhere. I don't know what happens with Belt. And Gabe Kapler and Farhan, I trust and believe in them to figure this thing out. They might not replicate 107, but they're going to get this damn thing right. And I think there's a lot of great takeaways, even though the way they lost is it's heartbreaking.
Well, and look, I think there's a great chance that this is going to be a real parallel to 1993, I think, because Giants won 103 games, didn't make the playoffs. They changed the rules. I believe this offseason the rules are going to be changed to prevent the teams with the two best records in baseball meeting in the division round. I mean, I think everybody around the game felt like this is not right. We're watching this great series. This is not right. This is not where these two teams should be meeting. And so, that won't be much consolation, I don't think, for Giants fans to know that for the second time in recent Giants history, the Giants sort of get, impacted negatively by a rule that didn't exist, and then after the fact it gets changed. But, that said, I think just the treat of seeing a Giants-Dodgers playoff series is almost worth that heartache. I mean, it just felt right that this was the year that the first time, for the first time, we got to see those teams officially meet in the playoffs, and it was an all-time classic series that did show off a lot of the things that the Giants have accomplished in the last few years, and they did go toe-to-toe with this behemoth team and easily could have won the series. But, I mean, it also demonstrated that there's still work to do. And, you win 107 games and you still feel like, hey, we can be better. And I think the two guys that you're talking about, Farhan and Gabe, think they can still get better.
No doubt about that. Dave Fleming here on 95.7 The Game. Our Giants insider joins us on a morning roast every single Tuesday. Of course, the voice of the San Francisco Giants, college football, golf, college basketball. He does everything, ESPN and the Giants here on 95.7 The Game. And you talk about the work that still needs to be done. What is one of the priorities for you, Flem? Is it the starting pitching, as we see 4 free agents with Johnny Cueto, Anthony DeSclafani, of course, Alex Wood and Kevin Gausman, or is it another bat or two in this lineup? What would be priority number one for you if you were running this club?
Well, I think the starting pitching, I mean, it may not go in this order. I think the starting pitching is the most, it's the most in question part of this team going forward. There are decisions to be made about, like, Brandon Belt, what's that contract going to look like? Posey, are we reworking the deal? Chris Bryant, how aggressive are they going to be? Maybe trying to keep Chris Bryant around. So those are important decisions, but I think the inflection point of this team is the starting rotation. Mm-hmm. And again, it's sort of the same as last year. Giants are getting closer to having a group of young pitchers in the minor leagues who are ready to contribute, but they're not there at that, at least in terms of starters. And so I think that makes, that puts a little more urgency on the fact that they got to find some arms, and more than just one or more than just two. I mean, whether it's bringing back the names that you rattled off or it's going to be somebody new in here, it's a lot of spots that they have to fill. But Joe said it a minute ago. I mean, it is a huge comfort blanket when you have Logan Webb emerging the way that he did, and it changes the dynamics of that for me, and takes some pressure off of the need to go find like hugely impact. You don't have to necessarily go sign a bunch of aces, which is hard to do anyway. I think they can sort of do what they've done these last few years and lean on Logan Webb to be the leader of that staff. But, the counter to that argument is what we just saw, a playoff series. The Giants thrived this year with the starters that they had.
Right.
But a playoff series against a really good team, you feel like you need a couple of those guys, not just one. And the Giants had one plus, and a couple of those other arms at the end of the year weren't quite the same as they had been, and that did impact their ability to just stand in there, go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. One more high-quality start, they would have won that series.
I'm totally with you. They had 3 stud starters, and then in the final game, in the final 2 innings, after the 24-year-old hands it to Tyler Rogers, who then hands it to Camilo Duvall, who's 24 years old, the Dodgers went Hall of Famer Jansen, Hall of Famer Scherzer. Like, it is what it is at some point. Forget the woulda, coulda, shoulda of Game 5, because we were all devastated, but it was a great series. It was a great year. As I start to look into next year and into this offseason, and there's some guys, Brandon Belt, who you referenced, how much does the CBA factor in to the decisions that the Giants are going to be making? Is the DH going to be available? Is there going to be a labor strike? Like, the CBA, to me, feels like kind of the dark cloud that's hovering over everything.
Yeah, it's definitely hovering over front offices and decision makers for sure. We're probably at 99% likely to get some version of a lockout, which, is really, in a lot of ways, that part of it is just sort of a technicality. Basically, that means that we're not going to have time before December 1st because they don't seem to have made a lot of progress on a new deal. We're not going to have time to hammer out all the full details of a new deal by December 1st. So technically then we will go into a lockout scenario, and that will essentially put a freeze on things. So, the Giants will have some decisions to make about trying to get some of this stuff done before December. And that, November could be interesting because, from a player perspective, look, the players are really driving this right now. And that doesn't mean that I'm putting blame on the players, but the players have been very uncompromising in their positions in these early negotiations. So in some ways, the players as a whole, as a big group, are driving what is going to happen, which is an argument, a big argument. But the flip side is the players individually may feel some pressure. Brandon Belt's probably thinking, hey, I just had the best year I've ever had. Why wouldn't a bunch of teams be interested in bringing me aboard? But I could see the counter to that being, do I want to risk it? What is the deal going to look like? How long is it going to go? Maybe I should just sign a deal early and lock something in before all that happens. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic. How much gets done in November? How much is that, players feeling a little nervous about things? Who's willing to just sort of wait it out? Because it's hovering over everybody. The last thing I'll say about your question is I think the Giants are in a better position than almost anybody. Number one, because they have flexibility. Number two, they have an ownership group that isn't afraid of making commitments that maybe in the short term, does it make us a little nervous, but we feel like we're going to be fine in the long term. I think the Giants are in that position, whereas there are a lot of other franchises that are feeling more nervous about the financials of all of it and are probably going to be less willing to make some of those commitments. I think the Giants can leverage that.
Boy, and what happens with Chris Bryant, with all that said there, Chris Bryant, and we've seen in the past 5 years, Flem, really happened recently where players will wait until February. They'll wait, until the last week right before Bryce Harper,
Days
JD
before
Martinez.
spring training.
Yeah, JD Martinez waited a long time. How long do you think Chris Bryant will wait, knowing that Scott Boras is his agent? Because I think it is imperative for the Giants to have him and build around him as a nice young bat because, well, let's face it, Flem, he tore it up against the Dodgers in that 5-game series. He was the best Giants offensive player.
He did. He looked good. I mean, and that, again, that's like another counter argument to the, well, we can just figure it out and we can find the next guy. We can find the next hidden gem. All those things are great, but you get into the big series against the most talented teams, and sometimes you just need those really super talented players to counter that. And
no doubt.
Chris Bryant would be an argument in that direction. Like, he looked like, one of the best players on the field all series long. But I do think he's going to wait, and I think he's going to wait a long time, and that's what Scott Boras' guys do. And I don't care that Chris said earlier this year that he's in charge, and Boras. I mean, that I'll believe that when I really see it, because I think Boras' clients just tend to behave very similarly. There are very few of them that sign early deals. So, and that. Look, for some teams that's fine, but now the Giants, the thing has changed a little bit. Like, that actually would have helped the Giants in a lot of ways if they were still, quote, rebuilding and kind of, hey, look, we feel like we're a couple steps away, but we're in wait-and-see mode. Let's take advantage of the market, all that. Now the Giants we need a good team again. We can build on this, and that may end up hurting them with regards to Bryant if he's willing to wait a long time. I think Farhan and Scott may decide that they got to make their moves a little earlier than that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like the Giants find themselves in an interesting spot, a good spot right now. I look at what the Dodgers did when they traded Verdugo and a bunch of players for Mookie Betts, and they got themselves one of the rare 5-tool talents in baseball. And I don't know. What's more likely right now, Dave? You think that they trade for an established player, or they kind of hold pat, obviously test the waters in free agency and wait for these young prospects to come through for this upcoming season? Do you think they just stand pat with what they've got now, or do you think they are aggressive in the trade market?
I think a trade is a real possibility. I think that, and maybe a couple trades. I think the Giants are very willing to make deals, and some of those deals have looked really small on the transaction wire, but have ended up being much more impactful. The Giants have some prospect depth at certain spots where maybe they don't have organizational depth in other ways. I think that could, help them making some of those decisions. I think trades are a real possibility. I can't tell you that I know exactly what those trades are going to look like. But, that will not be happening. If it could happen, I think the Giants would very much like to make that happen, but I don't think that's a real possibility. But talking about starting pitching, yes. I think it's a real possibility that the Giants could target a younger, maybe not even wholly successful starting pitcher, somebody that they think, hey, we can help that pitcher maximize his ability and trade away from some depth at another spot. I think that's a real possibility. The other thing is, you mentioned the minor leaguers. Look, this Giants regime, and it's not a ton of data. We haven't seen, we haven't seen a lot of years of young players coming up, but they favor, I believe, players who have a little more experience, and even if that comes in the minor leagues. The Giants are not in a rush with their young players to push them into big league roles, and I think they're very patient with development. And so that would argue for not that many when you look up and down the lineup of who's getting closer. It makes me think there aren't that many who are all the way there yet. A couple names, but maybe not more than that, which means that they have some more spots to fill for next year.
Well, Flem, we don't want to hold you too much longer, man. We want you to go out there and visit your nephew and have fun with them.
Congratulations.
And enjoy the Red Sox and Astros. Boy, the Red Sox are hitting the crap out the baseball. 3 grand slams in the last 2 games, a postseason record for the Red Sox there. But Flem, this is a lot of fun all season long.
Thank you for joining us.
We really can't thank you enough, man. Yeah. We enjoyed every Tuesday. Our audience enjoyed our weeklies here, and hopefully we can do it again next season. And we want to do it at least once a month with you moving forward here, because
Rory
you do a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
College
football? What's happening in college football? Alabama goes down. Georgia's #1. What is going on?
I get to see, and I kind of requested it just because I wanted to see them up close. I get to see Cincinnati this week. They're the #2 team in the country. That's kind of amazing to me.
Wow.
So, let's do it again. I had a great season with you guys. It was fun to talk ball. I was thinking you might have to find a corner of the closet there to stuff the intro that you built for me away until the spring. But if I come back every once in a while, maybe you can just kind of put it on the shelf and dust it off every few weeks.
Well, no doubt. Well, you have expertise in everything. We may have to ask you about the Warriors because a lot of people were excited about the Warriors tonight, opening up against the LA Lakers. A lot of optimism with this Golden State Warriors team. A lot of optimism. And, of course, the offseason with the hot stove and everything happening there. So, Flem, have fun out there on the East Coast. Safe travels back to the West Coast, and we'll talk to you soon.
I hope it's a great Warriors season. I really do. They've got a guy. It feels like Posey in a lot of ways. It's like, they got somebody so special right now that you just want to see. But maybe the most fun part about this baseball season, to me, was seeing a future Hall of Famer have a renaissance year and enjoy it so much. And Curry had that last year, but didn't totally get to enjoy all the winning that went along with it. So that's what I'm really looking forward to with the Warriors this year. So I'd be happy to talk about Steph and those guys anytime with you.
And the return of Klay.
Thanks for treating me well.
John Curley, book him for next week.
Yeah.
Love you, Dave.
Let me look at my calendar.
Take some time off. Have fun in Cincinnati. It's a damn good football team.
Yeah.
Damn good football team. And hopefully they're in the college football playoff if they keep on winning. So, Flem, you're the best, man. We truly appreciate it.
And the game, I know we got to go, but the game this week is at the Naval Academy, and I've been to the Naval Academy, but I've never done, when you go on campus there, that's a special thing, too. So a game at Navy in the fall in Annapolis, the #2 team in college football. Yeah, maybe we should talk.
Is Staubach going to be there?
I hope so. I've done some Navy games in the past where he has been there. Maybe the most underrated player in the history of football.
Thank you.
Roger Staubach is special. And who lives a better life than Flem? He's going to Navy.
The best.
He's going golf. He's doing Masters. He's doing PG. I mean, Flem, you really live a good life, man. We're jealous.
I'm living my best version right now. I wish the Giants were still playing. I just had that.
All do.
I had that feeling that this was going to be a special ending to a special year, but you have a year like this, no regrets, and I can't wait till spring training. I can't.
And let's hope the Braves can win 2 more games against the Dodgers and spoil their party.
I'm rooting for the old Atlanta Braves. I am.
No
Ryan
doubt.
Snitker, I have to say I'm pulling for those guys.
All right, Flem. Have fun,
Thanks,
man.
bud.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon.
No doubt about that. Dave Fleming, presented by the County of Santa Clara. You can get vaccinated now for free at any of the drop-in locations, including Eastside San Jose, Downtown San Jose, Gilroy, Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and more. Call 211 or visit sccfreevax.org to find a drop-in closest to you. And presented by Gordon Plastering, the Bay Area's best for plastering, drywall, and fireproofing. GordonPlastering.com. Dave Fleming joining us here talking about the Giants offseason. And yeah, it was a bittersweet end. And I know there's some Dodger fans listening to us. Right until one Thursday night. He was saying this guy named Gus. This guy named Gus was what?
What's that jersey over there?
Oh, yeah, that's something I got to put on.
So I'm looking right now at the vacant chair where Mark Willard will sit in about 40 minutes or so, and there's a Dodger jersey. I mean, it's a cheap knockoff Marshall's Dodger jersey.
It's very cheap.
I mean, that is very, very reminiscent of the entire Dodger fan base, but it is that's a small jersey too, B. That looks like a bra on you.
So
it's like a brosier.
Yeah, I mean, this is the jersey I have to wear.
What brand is that Dodger jersey?
It's a Dynasty. You ever heard of Dynasty?
Never heard of that, yeah.
This is a cheap Mission Street special.
Yeah, liquor store special.
Dodgers, got the little patch. There's nothing on the back.
Oh, it's not even spelt proproperly.
No, it's not.
I'm just teasing. It's spelled properly.
It doesn't even look like a D. It looks like an O. Look at that. Look at this knockoff jersey.
Yeah.
That's Skyler. We made a bet Thursday. I'm driving out of the parking lot. I'm trying to rush out of here. Okay. Right? I'm getting out of here. I'm trying to get my mind right. Skyler, hey. Dodgers going to kick your butt today.
Oh.
And the Lakers going to kick your butt on Tuesday. I'm like, dude, relax, dude. Skyler, relax.
He gave you both revolvers.
Dude, he was like, you want to make a bet? Bet. Loser has to wear a jersey. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So not only are you going to wear full Dodger uniform next season with the row right at a Giants game, who's your most hated Dodger? Who's the guy you hate the most? Is it Lasorda? Is it Piazza?
Yeah, it's Lasorda.
It's Lasorda. Who else do you hate?
Well, now Mookie Betts. And I hate the Red Sox for giving them Mookie Betts.
You hate Seager?
Well, yeah, but not as much as I hate Mookie Betts.
What about Andre Ethier?
Well, yeah, of course. And James Loney and Matt Kemp.
What about Jeff Weaver?
Oh, yeah. Come on. The hair, the whole outfit, the look.
Darrell's just trying to figure out who's your most hated. He's going to get you that jersey.
Well, We're
talking about it
He
yesterday.
can get me whoever he wants at this point. Once I put on that horrible all-white Dodger jersey, I'm going to be numb.
Oh, so I'm going to have to wear this and take a picture. And it's been waiting for me for 24 hours. So this cheap knockoff jersey, folks, look at this. Twitch brought to you by Xfinity. Look at a D. Doesn't even look like a D. It looks like an O.
All right, I have a question for you. I want to pivot back to the Warriors.
Guys on the show.
Yeah, I want to pivot back to the Warriors.
Wait, what does that drop? Can I hear that again? The most hideous looking guys on the show.
Okay. Pivot. Here's the pivot. Tonight, forget the Dodgers, forget the Giants.
I feel you, Lakeford.
Lakers, Warriors tonight. Lakers, Warriors tonight.
We got Jim Barnett coming up.
And here's the best part. Lakers, they're hateable. LeBron James, very hateable.
Yep.
Russ Westbrook, very hateable.
This jersey makes me
What's the best part of tonight's matchup for Warrior fans? Is it the Laker part? Is it the LeBron part? Or is it the Russ part? What's the part of tonight's tasty matchup, Guru? What's the tastiest part?
You stolen that and taken that to another level.
No, because Goo wishes he had my swag.
888-957-9570. Line them up. Jim Barnett, the longtime voice of the Golden State Warriors. He'll join us next. And if you're looking for all the best Warriors content from 95.7 The Game, text Warriors to 20357. That's Warriors to 20357. Make sure to hit the subscribe button in the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Jim Barnett coming up, and that's brought to you by MB Jesse Painting.
It's opening night on 95.7 The Game.
Curry, 3 on the way, and it's money in the bank. Oh.
Get your bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. That's a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery prices may vary. Not following the combo.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zuri needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm.
Snap-to-tail checkup is waiting.
But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Oh, baby. Cannot wait. Tonight, Warriors and Lakers down at Staples Center.
From Davidson, Steph Curry!
It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. The Warriors celebrating their 60th season in the Bay Area, the 75th anniversary of the Golden State Warriors going back to Philadelphia. And one guy who I lean on when it comes to the NBA, and I respect his knowledge, because Shasky, let's face it, he taught us the game.
Oh, come on.
Jim Barnett joins us. He'll be on the call, I believe, tonight down at Staples Center in L.A. Jim Barnett basically taught us the game of basketball.
Air balls from the offense will be rebounded by the offense every single time.
And 2 for 1s.
Exactly.
We know about the 2 for 1s.
The Book of Barnett.
That's it's a great time for a 2 for 1. And I learned that from Jim Barnett. He joins us here on the Morning Roast for the first time this season. I had to have you on today, JB. Had to have you on after a great offseason. And the Warriors, a lot of optimism coming from the Warrior fans this year, believing that this team can finish in the top 4 in the Western Conference. But when I talk opening day, the season opener in basketball, JB, what comes to your mind? How excited do you get?
I get very excited, Bonte. I never lose that just thrill and the anticipation. What's going to happen? Everybody's optimistic. And you're right about this. Fans optimistic. I think Steve Kerr and the coaching staff is optimistic. I believe the players are optimistic. I certainly am. I feel really good about this team coming into the game tonight. Now, this is only one of, this is the first of 82 games. But, I'm just thinking that they've got a lot of players now that they didn't have before. It's a deeper team. They can score. They've got more people that can shoot threes out there, and they will shoot more threes than their opposition this year. Stephen Curry led the league in scoring last year. He's just a wizard. He's 33 years old. We know that. But Jordan Poole has come along in the absence of, obviously, in the absence of Klay Thompson now until later on in the season. Jordan Poole seems like he has really come around, scoring a point a minute in the preseason here. What more can you ask? So. We'll see what happens tonight. You don't want to beat yourselves. They've got to take care of the basketball. They're not going to be a great rebounding team. They've got to do it with small ball right now. Wiseman's still out. So there are just a lot of things. But I have to say, I feel really good about them.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jim. And I think I speak on behalf of all of Dub Nation when I say, when you're on our airwaves, I smile because it just makes me feel good. The last couple of years with COVID and the quarantine and everything that's been going on, it's been rough. But every time I pop on with you and I hear your voice, it makes me smile. So on behalf of Warrior fans, I'm so glad you're back with the club again this year. What's the area that you think is going to be their biggest flaw heading into this year? You referenced defense and rebounding, but is that the biggest flaw heading into this season?
Yeah, inside defense, they've got to get help. They're tough to go one-on-one against guys like Anthony Davis inside. And tonight, in fact, it's a real good test with Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, obviously DeAndre Jordan, players like that. That's a little Achilles heel for them. And yet they're going to beat people with speed and quickness and get up and down the floor when they can. And as I say, the last time these two teams met down here just a week ago, The Warriors shot 20 more threes than the Lakers. The Lakers took 36. The Warriors took 56. They made 7 more. That's 21 points right there. And they're going to look to do that tonight. They're going to look to do that all season long. And they've got the players that are capable of handling that responsibility.
Jim Barnett here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. We threw out the question earlier to our audience, who's the most important Golden State Warrior? Well, obviously, that's going to be Steph Curry. If he goes down, it's going to be tough for this team to win. But just take it away, Steph Curry. I believed it was Draymond Green. Who's the most important Warrior you think, JB, outside of Stephen Curry? Is it Draymond Green? Because I think when he scores 8 or more points, the Warriors were 20-5 last season when he scored 8 or more. And we're not asking for 20. But when he's aggressive offensively, this team just plays differently here. Who is that most important Warrior for you outside of Stephen Curry?
Well, without question, Draymond, because this team they were 5th in the league in defense last year. People forget that. They don't realize that they really scramble around and cause problems for people. And it starts with Draymond, and it ends with Draymond, and he's a leader. Draymond is someone, he's vocal, he's aggressive, he plays larger than his 6'7". He plays, and he's 6'7", but you would never know that because he plays like he's 7'1". And he does not accept. He just does not accept losing. He does not accept someone not hustling all the time. 2 years ago when Curry went down and everything, and they ended up 15-50 in that shortened season before the COVID broke out. He wasn't the same, and Steve Kerr knows that. Draymond will admit that. But he's the head of the snake, and he gets everybody going. And he's not afraid to tell them that. He's not afraid to get on his teammates. He just has that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of burner in him. And, he's just he likes to win, and he finds ways to win, and he finds ways to beat you.
How important of a year is it for the young man Jordan Poole? Like, what are you expecting from him, Jim?
Well, I think he's going to be a 15 to 20-point scorer per game until Klay Thompson comes back in. And he's playing with confidence. He's shooting the ball. He's more efficient now. He's not wasting a lot of time, going in, darting out with the ball and dribbling. He's decisive. He makes his mind up what the move he's going to make, and he does it, and he goes. So he's not standing there with the ball and everybody else watching him. He's decisive, making a move. He's going to shoot outside. He's going to get to a spot, one dribble, boom, and up, or he's going to get all the way to the basket, and he can go to the basket. I'm expecting a lot from him. He's got to work on his defense a little bit and make sure that he knows where his man is. But he's worked really, really hard. And as I say, he's been phenomenal in these 5 preseason games.
Jim Barnett here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. He'll be on a call tonight when the Warriors take on the Lakers at 7 p.m. That's when the game will tip off, the first of 82 games. And look, I think about Chaser, Jim. The first year, obviously, Steph Curry gets hurt in game number 4 against the Phoenix Suns. Klay Thompson's not there. It was basically a lost season. Last year, the pandemic hits. There's no fans there until the end of the year. It wasn't at full capacity. This year feels like will be the unofficial birth of chasing it. I think the home court advantage, from what we heard Friday with Steph Curry dropped 41 on the Portland Trail Blazers, that will be a very underrated factor, I think, here in the season. Once the Warriors get rolling and that crowd gets behind them, it's going to have an impact on the season, I believe, JB.
Absolutely, and I have to say, I'm at my age and stuff. I look at the bottom line and stuff, and I felt so sorry for the owners and Joe Lincoln and Peter Goober when they had that beautiful new arena, and then everything goes wrong, and it's just, it hurt me. It really did. It hurt because it's such a fabulous place, and the Warriors are going to make that a home court advantage with no question at all this year. And you're speaking about Stephen Curry. He's lighting it up, 41 points. But you got to realize, Bonte, it took him 30 minutes to get those 41.
I was saying, pull him. I've seen enough. He's in mid-season 4. But at what point, JB, this year, we're going to see the return of Klay Thompson, which will be very good to see. We can't wait to see Klay Thompson on the court. We've seen him enough on the yacht, swimming in the bay. Mm-hmm. But at what point Steph Curry's going to break the all-time three-point record? He's 142 behind Ray Allen. It all starts with Stephen Curry and it ends with Stephen Curry. I think that's where we should probably end this conversation. Steph Curry at the age of 33, he just gets better and better and better. And last year I thought he got better at finishing at the rim. What are some of the improvements you see from Stephen Curry over the last 24 months?
Well, he's been able to go to the basket with much more consistency, score inside. He takes shots now with 2 or 3 men all around him, and it doesn't seem to faze him whatsoever. He's just gotten better from outside. I think he shot 42% from three-point range last year, and most of those are not old shots. And, of course, he can shoot deep. We know that. But when Thompson comes back, now you're going to talk about he's going to have more open space. Everyone will have more open space. So guys like Otto Porter Jr., who can shoot threes, Nemanja Bjelica, who can shoot threes. I'm looking forward to Kuminga coming back, very athletic, someone who is going to play right now. So they've got players out there that can put the ball in the basket. They've got players out there that can compete. But Stephen Curry, obviously, he's going to have to hold this team together until Klay does come back. But when Klay comes back, I'm expecting big things from him. I don't think you're going to miss a beat because you never forget how to shoot. And that's the last thing I'll say about Stephen Curry. I don't know when he's going to retire, but you can always shoot the ball. Now, maybe he won't be able to move quite a bit, but having him on the team as a designated shooter and giving you 18 or 20 points a game just by shooting a few times like that, even when he's 38 or 40 years old, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, Jim, opening night, there's gasoline, there's fireworks all by itself. You throw in Lakers. You throw in LeBron James. You throw in Russell Westbrook. Tonight's going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to be awesome. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to them gang rebounding. Everybody's got to rebound. And also with LeBron James, he likes to come in the middle, turn his back, and all that kind of stuff. The last time they were down here a week ago, the Warriors reached in, stole the ball from him a lot. You know, when you get 36 to 37 years of age, and you think you're going as fast, but LeBron has slowed down. There's no question about it. He's a great player, and he's still a great player, but he's not the LeBron of age 26. And obviously, they've got those three-headed monster. Anthony Davis is tremendous. There's no question about it. Russell Westbrook, keep him on the outside. Don't let him get to the basket. So slow him down in transition and make him shoot jump shots, and you're going to be okay. He'll make mistakes. And so, you know, the Warriors have to force more turnovers than they commit themselves. That's important. So there are a lot of things happening tonight. The Lakers were 0-6 in the exhibition season. We'll see whether how they finish this year because they're probably the favorites in the West. Without question, along with Denver, Utah. I don't know about Phoenix. Chris Paul changed that team last year. So the West is loaded, and it starts with the Lakers, and we'll just see how it plays out tonight.
Oh, man, we're fired up. Dub Nation's fired up. JB will be fired up to hearing you on the call tonight with Tim Roy down there at Staples Center as the Warriors open their 60th season in the Bay Area, 75th overall, the 75th anniversary of the Golden State Warriors. And Jim Barnett has been a part of it for a long, long time. JB, thanks so much for the time today.
Jim.
We'll do it again soon.
Thank you, Bonte. Thank you, Joe. Take care.
Appreciate it. Jim Barnett. Here in the morning.
You remember my name?
What was the talk, Kate? Who else and whoever else?
That might have been the greatest line of all time.
That might be the greatest drop of all time.
It really is.
After I do the early show with Kate and whoever's out there. The morning roast.
Taking people behind the scenes here. We show up to Warrior Media Day, walk in late. Everybody's looking at us. And, we go to find the restrooms, and we're going to walk down the hallway while everyone else is in the meeting thing. And boom, here comes Jim Barnett walking at us. And Bonte's like, "What's up, Jim? What's up?" And then he gives him a big dap and a hug. And Bonte and Jim are exchanging pleasantries. And here I come walking by. I'm like, "Hi, Jim." And he's like, "Hi." And then just kept walking. And I was like, damn, maybe he doesn't remember me.
JB's one of a kind, man. He's fired. You can hear the excitement in his voice.
He was breaking down what Russell Westbrook needs, how you need to defend him right now. Just pack in the paint, allow him to shoot from the outside. Isn't this a clash of styles? Just to get,
he's in mid-season 4.
To get inside basketball just for a second, because I know this might be a little too deep, too early.
Well, let's give it to me, though.
Okay. The Lakers are a slow, prodding team.
No doubt.
Okay? Plotting team. They're going to try to get down the court slowly. Now, Russ is going to try to play fast at times, but LeBron isn't trying to get out in space the way he used to. Now, he will pick and choose his spots.
Right.
They're going to try to run that high pick and roll with him and Anthony Davis at times in the third and fourth quarters.
Same thing with Westbrook, too.
Absolutely. I think the Warriors need to get out and run in space and force this Laker team to exert energy, switching on the defensive end. So here's my key to tonight. Dribble, drive, penetration, starting from Steph Curry and Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. If the three of those guys can get by their defenders, and here's a little something that one of my buddies, Delacella, texted me, and I agree with him. The difference early in last year and the difference...
Time out real quick. Delacella, I met his older brother at the Penny Pinch. Fundraiser for St. Anthony's. It was a great event. Penny pitching. My team, we made the second round.
Nice.
A Copper Crush.
Finally won.
Well, won first round. And then Joe Delacella, the older brother, he pitches a penny, and he got closest to the wall on the first try. I was like, damn, we're done.
Yeah.
But
he's a hustler.
Yeah, he is a hustler. But he did mention you. He goes, man, Joe Shasky, man. He mentioned my little brother all the time, man. Delacella. It's
my
like,
homie.
You might as well be a third host.
Perfect personal text line. But he makes a great point here. Early in the year last year, how many open threes? And I'm not trying to crush the guy. I'm just saying, let's be fair here. Oubre missed every open three available last year.
Yeah.
They couldn't hit the right side of a barn. This year, if you get Bielitsa out there, and I'm talking about second unit, and once you start rotating and Kavon's off the court, because it's only going to be 5-6 minutes for Kavon with the starting unit. You get Otto Porter Jr. out there. You get Jordan Poole in it. You have some space. If Otto Porter Jr. and Bielitsa can just be respectable from the corner and the top of the three, the top of the key three, I mean, Bonte, that unlocks the offense. It unlocks the offense. I'm so looking forward to tonight, and it's going to be awesome to see Steph Curry. Can he erase all of the horrible shooting nights he's had at Staples?
So Otto Porter Jr. in the preseason.
Ooh, give it to me.
Preseason.
No. But there's a lot to like.
The 55% from the three-point line he shot. 16 to 29.
Hey, he looked good.
16 to 29 for the three-point line. He will nail down those open threes. Bielitsa look good hitting the open threes. What does old man Andre Iguodala having to take? It's going to be a lot of fun.
Don't you think he will help that second unit facilitating? They didn't have any passers in that second unit last year.
And I look at the Lakers defensively. You can hit them on backdoor cuts.
Yes.
LeBron and Russell Westbrook defensively are flawed defensive players.
You know what they are? They're like you at a Niner game. They point fingers.
They point fingers. That is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good material right there, Sasky. I'm proud of you. No, that is good stuff. 888-957-9570. When we say Lakers, what do you hate about the Lakers?
LeBron?
Is it Westbrook?
Russ?
Is it Street Clothes Davis?
Frank Vogel crying?
Is it Anthony Street Clothes Davis? Because he's always hurt.
That guy.
He's always hurt. He's missed an average of 15, 20 games a season in his career.
Kirk Cousins was the Sam Bradford was the human ace bandage.
Yes.
I think it's Anthony Davis.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
It's the greatest
Rajon
nickname.
Rondo's back. All right?
Rajon
Rondo's back.
I have to give him credit, though. He did ball out in those finals.
He did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Last year, I heard a story where he told the Clippers, they're like, hey, you're not going to be part of the rotation.
And what'd he do?
He
Strangle someone?
I'm not suiting up today.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm not suiting up. Dude, who they got somebody, Carmelo Anthony. He don't really play defense, and he's going to chuck up all those shots. And DeAndre Jordan's washed.
Oh, he's so finished.
He might be in start lineup today.
Speaking of scrub Saturdays, Kozimor and Whitey, that's what DeAndre Jordan is.
Wow.
I mean, come on, man.
Let's go to Gene in Oakland.
Come
Gene,
on.
good morning.
I'm so excited for tonight.
Gene, when I say Lakers, what do you hate most about them?
That's a tough question to answer because I hate Westbrook and I hate Rondo, but first and foremost, I hate LeBron. I mean, look, I have to say, rush to say here that, outside of basketball, I love what the guy does, all his social justice work, his untarnished reputation off the court, all that. But the whole prima donna routine, I'm just so sick and tired of it, just like the rest of us. Look, he's never really made the big shot in the finals, okay? And, like I say, he not only tends to point to others for defense, but, for that last do-or-die shot, he tends to defer to others still, okay? And he's wearing down. These Lakers, they're better than us right now. and they'll likely win tonight. But we're going to surpass them at some point during the season. Their average age is going to be about 32 by the time the playoffs show around. They're going to need a mobile medical unit by February or March. There's going to be so many.
Gene hates the Lakers.
Hey, Gene. If I have to see LeBron hitting that shot against the Warriors in the play-in game with him saying, "I only saw 17 baskets," I'm going to throw up tonight.
Yeah, seriously. That game especially, you look at that game last year, he played half that game. He didn't play the first half. He doesn't have it in him anymore, like Barnett said. I mean, he's wearing down. He's old. He's 36. He's 36 years old in a really a 40-year-old body.
Yeah, you're right.
All the basketball he's played. So no, we're going to pass this team. We won't surpass them in the standings probably. Excuse me, but we'll be better than them by the second half of the season.
I totally agree.
Gene, I'm with you there. 707 AD equals Mr. Glass.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Daker D on the personal text, and Daker D texts, and I don't read half of them. Sorry, Daker, but this one is pretty good. Instead of showtime, it's slow time. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Hey, what's going to be worse tonight? The look of Jeannie Buss's face all throughout the first half, like puzzled at all times over the Frank Vogel
rotations. We're going to see Jack Nicholson courtside again. We're going to see the stars out in L.A.
Jack's getting up there, dude.
Jack's getting up there. But I do like seeing Jack sitting courtside.
Yeah, I do too. But he's getting up there. He's battered. He's battered. But the other part is Jeannie Buss's look of bewilderment at all times whenever they show her, or Magic Johnson's horrific tweets.
Oh, gosh. I need the Dodgers bounced. Speaking of Magic, I need the Dodgers bounced.
Best part about the Lakers this year is no more Caruso talk.
Oh.
Thank God.
Air Caruso?
I mean, come on.
Dude, the Caruso hype was everything with the Lakers. But also Laker fits.
If I saw another Caruso highlight on Bleacher Report.
And shout out to Bleacher Report. I got love for them.
God.
They're a former employer of mine. I worked at Bleacher Report for almost a year.
I love Bleacher Report.
I love Bleacher.
But I hate Caruso.
They had some stories up on Bleacher. They had some Caruso tweets because he's in Chicago now. He's in Chicago. And I saw something on Bleacher Report. Oh, Caruso. And I'm like, Bleacher, stop it. Come on. Bayshawn.
Just stop.
Paige Kuhn. Parker. Stop it with the Caruso stuff.
Hey, my favorite tonight is when Russ pulls up thinking he's going to be nothing but net, and it's nothing but foam. That's like my favorite part. And Russ swears he holds it there like above the rim. I'm going to hold it there because it's so pretty. I swear he lets it rip, and he thinks it's going in.
And think about Dub Nation tomorrow if the Warriors do beat the Lakers tonight.
Doc, we're going to be stunting on them so hard.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be two-stepping on TV, Doc. If you're looking for sports betting content all day long, the BetQL Network is now available nationwide on the Odyssey mobile app and website, over 10,000 home and auto-connected devices, and at BetQLNetwork.com. This is wagertainment for every single fan. Morning, afternoon, and night. Betting angles throughout the day. Insights from local and national experts. Entertaining content to keep both the casual and hardcore bettors engaged. Get sports betting tips from the best in the game. BetQL Network streaming now on Odyssey. Zaza Pachulia joining Mark Willard and Dan Dibley at 9:15 today. Nothing easy in the 9 a.m. hour, brought to you by Timeless Coffee. Mr. Nothing Easy. Game 7, baby. Game 7. He'll be live in studio at 9:15 right here.
Nothing easy.
Oh, God, I just love it. Warriors, Lakers to start the year. LeBron, Russ. Put it all into my veins. Is Draymond going to actually talk smack to his clutch brethren, LeBron James? I want to see Draymond stop talking to other people and get right in LeBron's face early in this game.
Day-Day's going to be ready to go.
I know he is.
Day-Day's ready to go.
I can't wait till he gets that first big hack and he screams into the fans. Like,
Day-Day.
Is there anything better than hearing Draymond scream and yell at people on your broadcast?
408. Look, Twitch is rolling right now. Twitch is fired up. YouTube, on 95.7 The Game YouTube page, they're fired up about tonight. 408, go get some Timeless Coffee and get ready to go. Talking about it's game 1, bro. This game means nothing. You know what? Yeah. It's everything. It's the start of a fantastic voyage. Look, this game means everything. 408. It's the start of a great season, damn it.
And what's great about
killing
this
my
year,
vibe today.
What's great about this year, and in any of those Western movies, back in the day, the guy's got the pistol, he gets shot in the chest, he goes to the ground. The Warriors, they got the pistol, right? They got everything ready to go. But in the little shoe holster, okay, they got the little snub nose in Klay Thompson returning at some point, and they got James Wiseman. So they got a little something in the back pocket is what I'm getting at.
I agree there. Let's go to our main man, Word in Oakland. Word.
Oh, Word.
What's happening? You're on the roast.
fellas, you guys are killing me in a hilarious way. So, quick background. I hate the way my man framed my call. But, so I born in L.A., moved to San Francisco at 3, bounced back and forth from L.A. and the Bay all my life. So I'm a Niners fan, I'm a Giants fan, I'm a Lakers fan.
Oh.
What's crazy is I listen to you guys every morning. I root for the Warriors. They're not my team, but I grew up, they were my local team growing up, and I was living in the city. Y'all, I understand y'all hate the Lakers, but I listen to the Lakers show in the evening every day, like I listen to you guys in the morning. It's such a contrast, man. The fans out there, the hosts of the shows love the Warriors. They love Steph. Obviously, they love Klay. They're like, it's going to be so fun to play with them again, and looking forward to seeing, everybody healthy and Draymond. Then I wake up in the morning, and y'all just be jumping on the Lakers.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Because the Lakers fans don't feel that way about y'all.
Yeah, I know.
And I know they don't. I know they don't.
great.
But you know what? We're tired of you guys taking over our
What I'm
stadiums.
saying is not even indifference. Like, we like the Warriors for the most part.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
well, we don't like you,
the
Word.
cute little startup
Word.
Warriors.
Hey,
That's
Word.
the way you guys look at it.
Hey, Word, I love you. And that's their problem. They love us. We don't love you. We don't like SoCal. This is NorCal. All right? This is the Bay. Word, we love you calling the show. We love that you're a Niners fan. But the Lakers, we don't roll with. All you bandwagon, because the Lakers got the most... The bandwagon fans
it's the
and
most
everything.
obnoxious group.
Every single signing.
It's the most
they hyped up the Kim Bazemore signing like they signed Michael Jordan. I'm so sick of Laker fans. They're already insufferable. We haven't even made it to the game yet. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. I can't stand the Lakers. Shasky can't stand the Lakers.
In the words of Trick Daddy, I love the kids, but I hate the baby mamas. And that's what the Lakers are at this point. But I want to ask you over-under. Draymond Green, technicals for the season. Forget that. I'm talking about tonight. Technicals tonight.
He may get one.
I'm saying over 1.
He may get one.
I think definitely over.
Number
if I said
3.
0.5, he can't get 3. He can only get 2.
He will only get kicked out if the Warriors are down by like 10 plus and the game's over. Then he'll just get kicked out and start barking and just take an early shower.
If he gets an early shower, that game's a blowout. Do not get an early shower. I need at least 1 tech though.
Yeah,
give me 1
I don't
tonight.
want no tech.
No, start the season off right. Start the season off right.
Because if he gets a tech, you're going to come in the morning. Oh, Draymond Green.
No, I told you.
I'm worried about him getting suspended.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that from you all last season. I said, dude,
it's a new year.
What did Draymond do?
I'm a new man.
He did not get to 16.
I'm mature now.
Draymond did not get to 16.
And so is Draymond. We're both mature men in our late 30s. We're starting to get older and we're starting to read the room. And we realize that, you know what? I could toe the line, but I'm not going to cross it.
Man. Warriors, Lakers, it's happening. Zaza's coming to studio.
Doesn't everybody have a Laker fan in their life that they hate? Even though they might love them?
Von Scranton, can't stand him. I actually put him on Do Not Disturb. I may have blocked his phone number.
Yeah, Guru.
Bye. Guru's definitely a Laker fan. He's definitely a Laker fan. Joe Spadoni. Who else? Who else do it? I know a lot of Lakers. Keto Patterson. Keto can't stand you.
The guy who runs our Twitch, Ryan Mauser.
Ryan Mauser's a Laker fan?
He's a LeBron fan.
Oh, that's just, this guy. You talk about a confused soul. Ryan Mauser's a Seahawk fan. Isn't he a Dodger fan?
No, he's a Giant fan, a Seahawk fan, and a LeBron fan.
He's trash. That dude's got problems. Yeah. Ryan Mauser, thank the heavens he's at home running to Twitch and YouTube, and we don't have to see his face. Hey, Ryan Mauser, oh my gosh.
Everybody who's tuning in right now, we got Zaza for the next hour, and then obviously me and B are going to hop on Instagram Live in about 15, 20 minutes.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, we're going to hop on Instagram Live, and we are going to do a little 10 questions on a Tuesday for Bonte Hill.
Detective Tuesday.
Yep. I'm going to ask you,
why?
the host of pre and post for Warriors games on your television, what's going down?
All right, the boys are in studio. That's a sign that we got to get the hell out of here.
I'm ready.
As Zaza Pachulia, and you see Joe Spadoni with the number 7. Is that Lamar Odom?
Oh, God.
He's still in rehab.
Oh, God. What
Prayers
an
up to Lamar
insufferable
Odom.
jersey.
Yeah, that's it for us. Warriors, Lakers tonight. Damon Bruce, Ray Rattle. Pregame show starts at 5:30 right here on 95.7 The Game. Tip-off at 7 p.m. with Tim Roy and Jim Barnett. Warriors, Lakers. Mark Willard Dibbs next. Zaza in studio in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Nothing easy.
You're listening